Fired up. You ready, Timbo?
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a fun show, you guys. Yeah, we're going to do a little recap. It's the end of the D party, as the cute
Let's.
raps have been alluding to. Yeah, man, it's the end. We're going to talk all about that today. I can't wait. Look at Melzie's beautiful artwork. Isn't that gorgeous? We have to just show you guys this. This is how we're going to start the show. But
Let's go.
we're gonna do a recap. Thanks to Steve Bannon, the War Room this morning did a beautiful cold opening, almost 22 minutes worth of the best of last night's State of the Union, the real State of the Union, the one that blew everybody's minds. Get ready, buckle up, grab your popcorn. Let's go!
Let's go!
Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States. Second Lady of the United States. Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before. Less than 5 months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America. We ended DEI in America. For decades before I came along, we had the exact opposite. From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point with the Green New Scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. They were murderers, 11,888 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen. Inflation cost the typical family $34,000 in just a speck of time. Now the same people in this chamber who voted for those disasters suddenly use the word affordability, a word they just used it. Somebody gave it to them, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem. You caused that problem. They knew their statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward. The price of eggs is down 60%. Madam Secretary, thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while. We're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. As you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth was performing her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in and brutally extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violent, viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them. Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. Between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots. Thank you. As we speak, Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually. Now they've closed the agency responsible for protecting.
All right, Timbo, I'm trying to hop out for just a second, guys. Tim, you might be on the screen for just a second. If you want to let everybody know, I'll be right back, kind of fill it in what we're watching. We got people trickling in. I just reposted over on X and stuff, so give them heads up. I'll be back in just a couple seconds, brother, okay? All right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Q School. Technical difficulties, but what we're doing is playing a little bit of a recap from last night. Thanks to Steve Bannon in the War Room this morning, put together a beautiful cold open. We're going to play the best of the best last night, about 20 minutes worth anyway. But Kyle, everything good at your end now?
I think so. I got Wayne and now you got some new devices. Maybe we'll check too if you can do some streaming. Sometimes the weather's just been kind of wild out here, which it's odd. There's also, I don't know if it's solar stuff, because it's sometimes the rhyme or reason when it's going out doesn't really make sense. And I don't know if I got to clean my computer up or what the deal is, but we're getting some different little resistance here, whatnot. But we appreciate you guys. So going right back to it here, the highlights from the speech here, and then we'll come back in a minute. Love you guys.
All right, let's go.
Protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, homeland security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice, we'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
This is huge. This is it right here, guys. The end of the Tea Party right here. Let's go! Sometimes you just have to show them, Kyle. Just show them.
That's right. That's right. Communists out there, y'all be watching us on the front of you.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should be ashamed to even claim to be a Democrat still.
To end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, don't them.
And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act.
Let's go!
To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. That cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID.
What a concept! Holy shit, who thought of that?
Over 70% of the world requires
All voters must
voter ID.
show proof of citizenship in order to vote. Mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None. And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%.
Oh, what's 8 plus 9, Kyle? What's 8 plus 9, guys and gals? 17!
And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens. And the reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things. You almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated. And their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John. And here is one more opportunity to show common sense. Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy, I'm telling you. They're crazy. Amazing. Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time, didn't we? But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President, J.D. Vance.
Let's go! Woo!
We'll get it done. And if we're able to find enough of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA, and it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah. You are a great inspiration. Please stand up. Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. This is especially true among young people, and a big part of that had to do with my great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy, great man. So last year, Charlie was violently murdered by an assassin and martyred, really martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand. Thank you, Erica. Been through a lot. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind. We love religion, and we love bringing it back. And it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see.
You have just experienced the longest State of the Union ever in State of the Union history. It wasn't just the feeling you had, it was the math. Over an hour and 47 minutes, the president blowing out of the water the previous record for the longest State of the Union speech ever, a record he himself set last year. In terms of the length of the speech, which I think will probably be the bottom line up front that people take away from this speech, was just how achingly long it was.
Question, right direction, wrong direction. We asked that about Trump's policies among speech watchers. Now remember, this is a poll among speech watchers, so it is a much more Republican universe that got polled here because Republicans tune in greater numbers for a Republican president's State of the Union address. And the results will show you exactly that. 64% say Trump's policies would move the country in the right direction. 36% say the wrong direction. I just want you to know, our poll of the overall electorate is the exact opposite of that. So in the overall population, he's upside down this way. But among speech watchers tonight, 64% say his policies will move the U.S. in the right direction. And look at the growth President Trump made over the speech. So pre-speech, it was 54% of speech watchers said his policies will move the U.S. in the right direction. After the speech, that number goes up 10 percentage points. So Donald Trump made some progress with people watching the speech from their pre-speech expectations to what they saw in the speech itself. And that 64% number, that's pretty much in range across all of his State of the Union addresses. In his first term, last year, the joint session, that's about what we've seen. Is roughly 2/3 have walked away from his speeches thinking he's going to move it in the right direction.
So a lot of red meat for the base.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. If you're a Republican on the ballot in 2026, I think you leave this speech being as happy as you could possibly be, that he sort of stuck to the script on the economy, he gave red meat to the base on immigration, and they can leave the hall tonight and sort of take that out on the campaign trail.
You saw Rachel Maddow in this crowd. Welcome. It's Wednesday, 25 February, year of our Lord 2026. John Solomon, Jim Rickards, many others. We're going to get it all in this morning. That was not a speech. That was a historic moment. He called out these demons, these traitors, these haters of America to their face, not simply on national TV, but on global television. It was magnificent. And we've separated out the Medal of Honor part. We're going to do different aspects that we want to honor during today's the morning show and the afternoon show. I want to bring in John Solomon. First off, John, I know you talked to the president before, after. I had a chance to catch up with him this morning.
Oh, actually, no. Let's listen to John Solomon. He says something pretty cool here.
Okay.
Sorry, Kyle.
Your thoughts on this speech and or not even speech, this historic moment that we were all able to participate in last night, sir?
Yeah, listen, I think it was a call to action. He divided the room into two people: patriots, people who love their country, will celebrate the 250th anniversary of America because it's done good things, who believe that their border should be closed and that their city should be protected from bad criminals, and that
Listen to
their
this.
spending should go back to levels that don't bankrupt the country. And then the Hatriots, those who sit and can't even applaud a young child who recovers from a heinous traffic accident, can't applaud or even cover, and that honors parents who lost their loved ones to fentanyl or to border crimes, can't even applaud American military heroes whose contributions are beyond anything any of us could imagine doing in the call of duty. Those are the Hatriots on one side. They sat, they pouted, they all they could do after the speech was to give their anger at Donald Trump. The only message they had is that Donald Trump's a bad guy last night. Donald Trump went in the room and said, America is a great country. Look around you. Look at the people that are sitting here. The hockey team, the military patriots, the survivors of horrific crimes. This is what makes America great. And oh, by the way, I'm not going to talk just about my accomplishments. I'm going to tell you what comes next, because I'm a bottom line. I'm going to do it next. And he laid out 6 or 7 really big ideas. The only idea the Democrats have had since 2016 is that Donald Trump's a bad guy, and we'll just sing that all day. And illegal aliens are better than Americans. Literally, the president divided that room into 2 camps, and he has set the stage now for Republicans to run in the 2026 election on that. Either you love your country, you love common sense, you embrace American heroes, and you do the right thing by our country, or you hate it and you play with the communists and the socialists and the defrauding illegal immigrants and the raping and marauding illegal immigrants. That's how we broke down the battlefield last night. Could not be any clearer. I agree with the CNN assessment. If you're in the Republican Party last night, your president just inspired you on how you're going to run and win the 2026 election, which really gives the Republicans maybe a 6 or 10 year run in Washington.
Oh,
But and here's the beauty for an audience that is low propensity and low information. They don't follow a lot of politics.
Wow.
that's crazy, man. 6 to 10 year run. John Sullivan, he says battlefield. He says set the stage. Like, this is great. And then he brings up Patriots versus Hatriots. You can't make this up, you guys. I love it. Patriots versus Hatriots.
Yeah. Wow. And that, I wonder about the Gematria on that. And then our other friends doing some Gematria down there. These people are crazy is 223. Do you see that, Tim?
I saw that. Yeah, nice dig, you guys. That ties right in with our show from Monday's show, the 223, the 5th anniversary of Q School. 223. And also they mentioned in the chat, I didn't even think of it, but the length of the speech was 107 minutes. 107, guys.
Yeah, I know. And actually, I kind of caught, I think I saw the 147, but I didn't. And then we have a really good decode with that. I'm not sure where it came from, but Mel has it in the background, some of the decodes with that too.
Freaking amazing, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. I know you guys were on the edge of your seats last night. Went through a couple of bowls of popcorn myself, and yeah, this is tide turning. This is history book stuff right here. Obviously, all the reviews. Well, unless you're a Hatriot or a Democrat, that was probably the best speech Donald Trump has ever provided, especially when it comes to the State of the Union speeches. And we're going to save the icing on the cake for the end when we do our outro today. We're going to play the last 5.5 minutes of the end of his speech last night, which was, to me, one of the most beautiful and most powerful statements for the entire country and for the world, for that matter, because the whole world was watching last night. I can't wait to see. Does anybody have an update on how many people actually watched it worldwide? I didn't see any of those stats come out this morning, but if you guys can do a little digging for us while we're live with you and let us know in the chat, that would be cool. But I'm pretty sure he shattered last year's record, because that was a record last year. He probably shattered it last night. But how did you feel, Melzie? Wasn't that a special time to be alive and witness?
It sure was. Like I liked watching it again, like right now, because it's, you know, it's impactful. Like he'd say certain things and then you would go, oh, but it was so long too. And the awards, the recognition of like being American, and the people that gave their lives, you know, that lost their lives, and you know, that were celebrated, and that was just so beautiful. The veteran who was 100 years old, and then to think that there were people that didn't stand for America. So I think that that was really a demonstration for the world really to see, but really the Americans to see where the Democrats' heart is at, and that it's not with the American people.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why today's title is hence the end of the D Party, and it's in the Q drops. We'll go through a bunch of those Q drops. There's actually 2 Q drops on the Intel board that actually say that exact sentence, end of the D Party, and there's also death of the D Party, and then there's the D Party con, and then what's the other one, Kyle, we were talking about?
I think there's a D Party death spiral or something like that. So,
yeah, I
and
think
then
there's that one too.
Yeah, maybe y'all can help us dig on those as well. Yeah, we'll have to update the map as well. Man, there's just been this internet's been glitchy. I don't know if it's my software, if I'm, because like also when you guys, like sometimes you can, vibration can be high too. Can like something's off, man. Like the machines are hot. I don't know what the deal is. So it's crazy out there.
So I got it looks like 36.6 million people watched the 2025 address. And I'm looking for, it doesn't say here.
Where's that at? Your summary?
Yeah, a summary, but it doesn't have the viewership for the.
So it's interesting too, because there's a Q drop, guys. I don't remember what speech it was, but in the middle of the Q movement, especially when it was still, hush hush. We were already mainstream. We would call it by mid 2018. That's when I'm not sure the date exactly, but when the guy holds the sign up, "We are Q," and that gets in the, because it's in the rally, right? And then Q says, "We are mainstream." Again, everything's been meticulously done, but where was it going with that? Somewhere down the road, in the midst of that, you know, the Q movement before like 2020 group were watching everything, he had a speech, and it was like, again, the Democrats were starting to try to, we're not going to show what he's doing and stuff. And NSA like gave us the data, you know, in a Q drop. I'm kind of summarizing. I can't think what Q drop this is, but it basically says how many million people were watching across all the different platforms, because somebody else asked that, and like the NSA would be able to tell that, but I don't, like regular metrics wouldn't be able to tell, because like we were streaming in here live on, you know, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook. Some people watching on Facebook. Shout out to all the people watching on Facebook. Again, please make sure try to react to the stories, make comments, because I'm definitely like censored still on the Facebook. I'm trying to figure out the algorithms. Anyways, we appreciate that, and thanks for watching anyways, because we're going to try to do stream some other documentaries, I think, too, Tim, and even if we got to bring them down after, they'll let us play it live too, so I think that would be a good idea. Kind of bring in Q School TV to the streaming. We'll do it every now and then, and, you know, we'll test it out, be careful with it, but to wake people up, you know, they'll have to watch it live, but we can start talking about beforehand. Hey, Friday night at this time, we're going to play the Walk Away documentary, you know, or this time, you know, that'll be interesting. 147.44 total. That's some interesting comments, because I had basically those numbers pop up to me just a little bit ago. Brittany Stover, it's even 14747. Brittany said, I was watching live with you amazing people on the fake and on the fake news also. LOL. Thank you for that, Brittany. I saw all you guys, all of our closest Q family. You guys are awesome. You rock. It's really cool. Especially the movement like Q School. I feel like we've impacted like really important people and special, awesome people in a certain way. You know, just kind of felt frustrated, just different things over time. And some of it was like, man, we're putting all this time out there, and like we're kind of talking in an echo chamber. I felt that like some of our stuff wasn't growing, but it's like it's not about the numbers, right? It's like this ripple effect, and we have some really, really special people here. So I just want to shout out all you guys as well.
You guys are the tippy top crew.
That's what this decode we're gonna have, because you're gonna hear something about a decode. Now remember that that these people are crazy is 223. You guys remember what I kept highlighting, what he did last year at the State of the Union, is he said the human traffickers, and he pointed at the Democrats. I have a feeling he said that before the storm about these people being crazy. Be paying attention. Wait till you see a little decode we got later here also. Anything else you guys want to have? Yes. And I got a little
just
cool meme I shared. No Instagram live either. Maybe if you guys can, maybe I don't know, tell the
cover
friends.
this
I don't know what's going on
after
with that.
later in
The
it.
107.
The 107 was at 107 minutes.
Yeah, 107 minutes. We'll just tease that. We're going to cover
can
the
tease it
the
later.
decode with it. There's some digs. I don't even know who did. We even got a video of that one. We could play that 4-minute video. Did you send that to me on X?
We'll find
it. We'll find it. But
we'll find out.
Let's see what else we got here. So, anyways, let's see. We're
So
going.
yeah, let's dig on that
Facebook,
maybe
YouTube.
diggers and try and figure that out if it was 107.
No, it is. It was 100, and Brittany's is an hour, 47 minutes, and 44 seconds. So 47 is inside of 144. The Angels here on deck. Speaking of the important people listening and watching, thank you all for being here. So, okay, where are we going? Oh, I want to show this. There it goes. Hour 47 and 44 seconds.
Equals 107 minutes.
Right.
Woo!
And then we should check that timestamp. Let's do it live right now. I was going to show these little memes I did. Actually, I guess I got it because I haven't opened another tab. I was trying to close as many tabs, but anyways, I made this one here, Tim, on Facebook. You guys see it. Make sure you like, share it, everything. So just little slides. You can do the music, but the Democrat Party hates America, right? This is the first person people seen. What's interesting is I saw people shared it, but they didn't like it. So again, the people on the left, or whatever you want to call it, TDS, that's your friends and family, are watching your stuff, and then they'll share it too. So here it is. The Democrat Party hates America. Democrats have chosen illegals, criminals, and terrorists over U.S. citizens, and all they had to do is my nephew with the name. They called an illegal alien. At first, he was a Maryland man. Then we find out he was never even a citizen. Then they say he was wrongfully deported. Then we found out he already had his date. Then we find out he's also a domestic abuser of his spouse for the party that allegedly protects women. Psych. And then we find out he's an actual gang member. By the way, that game's
MS-13.
MS-13. Thank you, Tim. I need the name. That gang's motto is rape, kill, and control.
Yeah,
FYI.
and guess who the Democrats, the Patriots special guest was on their little stage outside the Capitol last night with Joy Reid. Guess who? That same guy, Garcia. They invited him as one of their special guests.
Oh my gosh, a brig. Read this one, Tim. Here's a little meme, a recap of what these tards did.
All right. So over the past few months, Democrats have protested deporting MS-13 gang members, eliminating 11 narco terrorists, making DC safe again, making sure your vote matters by cleaning up the voter rolls, protecting women's bathroom privacy, protect children from porn and trans ideology in public schools.
They opposed all that stuff, guys. They protested that. Remember, even blowing up narco terrorists, making DC safe, making sure our vote actually matters. They posted all that, but here's the main one too. Read the next one, Tim.
Yeah, ... And then they celebrated the public execution of the only person to calmly and respectfully debate them in public and called for more of it. This tells you everything you need to know about who they are. Those are the Patriots, the demon rats, demon crack.
No, and I mean, unfortunately, it's kind of this plague. I'm going to pop off that graphic so we can just for assess, because it's crazy. The intro video we had or something, I was like, oh, I was thinking Charlie Kirk, and I'm thinking, or also I want to just kind of briefly touch on the Erica Kirk thing. We've kind of not been around, but again, this part of the movie stuff, we couldn't expose certain characters unless other characters stepped away. Hopefully you guys can follow that. We'll try to help you guys understand all these stuff on a deeper level. We've been just kind of staying on key with what's happening here on the surface, and you guys are doing great jobs with the digs and stuff and all the social media platforms. And welcome to the Great Awakening. It's been a ride. But anyways, I was gonna, Charlie Kirk situation happened live on Q School, just like these other things that have happened. I mean, historic. And we actually lived it in real time. So I was actually going to even thought about playing a clip of just like when we found out. And it's real odd too, because there's discrepancies in the time. It was like did it happen before or it was after Q School started? And there's really interesting time codes. Timing is everything. Activation codes, especially when, Q Team Tippy Top commanders are all on deck here. You guys should be paying attention.
You want to do that? You want to pull that? Can you quickly find that?
Which one is it? Oh, the show? Yeah, well, yeah, and let me show people, because I look glitchy on my end, so just let me know if the connection's bad when I go through here. But we'll go to Hammer Time. So Rumble, over on Rumble, guys, Hammer Time, Rapid Fire Q News. You search Hammer Time, you should see it. It's the long name here with the Q military patch. Okay, no censorship on Rumble like YouTube, but we are back on YouTube too. And then I know the date, so you just would scroll back a few pages. We got to September 10th or 11th, wasn't there? Or was it after September 11th? Was it the 12th? It should be we'll see in here the name. 999
September, it'd be September 10th.
10.
It was day before the 9/11, 9/11.
A bunch of, we must have did a lot that day. Turning point, 16th. Enemy combatants. I feel like
it was September 10th, so you have to go back a little bit.
Oh, is before 9/11?
Yes, it was the day before 9/11.
So
9/10 right there. I saw it on the top right.
Well, this is what you did. Oh, right here. Oh, it was all the way hiding in the corner.
There it is.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, this looks familiar. Yep, there right there. I'm not sure what's going on, but
so let's go back a little bit when we actually got
the crowd fleeing. Another angle.
This anymore, and those people that most likely would have voted for maybe Biden or Kamala Harris, they said, "Look, we understand, but you know what? You're not doing." See, the fake news, the deep state players are having a very, very difficult time, and you have to remember the deep state players, the fake news, the D's, they never take the position.
I knew something was weird about this day, guys. Breaking news: Charlie Kirk has been shot. I just posted everything I got right now. Just breaking news on Carly Bonome's channel. I put it into Diggers from the top to the bottom. 4 posts. There's Jack Posobiec just said a prayer on live air. He's been shot in the neck apparently in Utah. Whew. Here we go.
I'm gonna pause this just for a second. This is crazy town. I'm getting chills that we just popped into this. I'm gonna bring it down just for a second. I've gotten chills, goosebumps everywhere, guys. I guess I was just mentioning how important this channel has been, especially.
Do you remember the beginning of that show? We were having all kinds of complications getting started that day. Remember how weird it was at the beginning?
Part. Oh yeah. Oh no, we lost time. I lost time. Yes. I lost about 17 minutes.
So go back to the finish what you were saying, but go back to the very beginning because we did talk about it when we first came on, right, Melzie? Then we finally got the show going.
Okay.
And then you just played the part where the breaking news.
So you want me to go to the very beginning to see if we mention that?
Yeah, I think okay. because it was really a weird start to Q School. One of the weirdest things we've ever seen. We talk about it.
Okay. I totally forgot about that. So this will be interesting. Okay, and then just to highlight this, guys, real time. Again, Tippy Top Crew. Y'all were there with us when we were broadcasting. We predicted the location of the Trump-Putin meeting prior to anybody publicly announcing that. That would be the most important meeting he's had in who knows how long, right? And Tim predicted the time. And then we did it live, and they flew over Trump and Putin, and then myself live at 11:11, my local time with the military time. So that's the journey we've been on, and we've had many other instances. It's been wild, but this is a significant one. I was actually thinking about kind of getting pulled back into this information. And interesting how I've been kind of going the threads with, a situation with my brother, just to personally reflect on some of the stuff with myself is some of it, guys. I honestly I want to help everyone, me like this, spiritual warrior, the angel, Tim and I, all of us, try to put everything on our back. I was trying to almost do too much, and then I kind of stepped back, and then I got to just observe everything. And it's obviously some of that outfit's funded, but again, they've lost their voice. They're not even as big as you think. Is honestly, the less we pay attention to them, the better. Especially I encourage people to not highlight so much of that nasty behavior. There's some of that stuff out there, beating up somebody because they asked if you support Trump or the ICE. You know what I mean? We gotta be better than that. That's what this is coming to. Again, they're reacting that way because their reality is falling apart. Facts and evidence don't back up what they're supporting. And then anybody with common sense, can see that too. They know they're wrong. So back what I was saying though is my brother. I was kind of, again, I felt like we were amping each other, but I kind of stepped back and I was like, it all speaks for itself. I didn't need to do anything. I got this again, the meme right there. Trump called him out. We have this amazing battle plan, alliance, and our biggest army we've ever seen in the history of the world, y'all. And we're all here for each other. Y'all need to rest. Sometimes take a rest. And again, you don't be worried about if you're going to go on a trip about the shutdown. You'll be in the right place at the right time. You'll have everything you need. Okay. I was at the right place at the right time with the right people. I haven't said that one in a while. I was at the right place at the right time with the right people. Y'all can say it with y'all too. I'm always at the right place at the right time with the right people. Yeah. So, anyways, about that, I will say though, my brother, that was a big one where again, some of these crazies went full off the rails. That one activated him. He actually came forward and said, I can never condone political violence. And that's another huge part of this operation. Those that know what I'm talking about, central casting, the whole bit. Okay, and our awakening is think about how valuable that is for a white hat operation. Again, all the details I know about the guy behind, pulls the shirt. That's good to learn that kind of stuff. That's how you really assassinate somebody like that. We're going to expose all that because that blue and white flag, people, it connects to all them, and also British intelligence, MI6. Y'all know I'm talking about Israeli intelligence in the kill box. That's what the JFK files showed. Kill box, it said, unredact everything except the kill brackets. What was in the kill brackets, MelzieKaye? JFK files. You remember? I got her. She's frozen. I'm frozen. There's the go code. There's the activation code. It was Israeli intelligence in the kill bracket. Let's knock these. We gotta knock this programming out of here.
All right.
We're okay off the rails, but
Let's
okay.
Let's go back.
So okay. Anyways, this is a big deal though because the live event, and especially being emotional, like it's so real because it's real. Like he's gone, right? And it's. Just like JFK, forever, it's people experienced it. They are gone as this horrific thing. But again, this exposed the true evil that's crept into people's belief systems where they have such hatred. I mean, this is history repeating itself. Well, all the, there's a bunch of lies about how it actually went with, Germany and all these there's a lot of confusion, right? But regardless, it got to a point where people were dehumanizing others and making it okay. And it was celebrated, right? It was celebrated as the sickest part about that, make you sick to your stomach and then the intensity of it, but then, and all the things, right? So it's been quite a journey and it's just crazy
I think
to see
that
this.
People, especially I wasn't alive when JFK was assassinated. And so I learned through it, through watching TV or watching things that were fed to me. And a great many did. And some people, maybe they don't even care, he was assassinated. Who cares? They don't understand why. They're not willing to look. And so I think that a lot of things that the Trump team has done in Q is to have us to go through like a military operation that's military theater at times. And it brings people that would have never had interest in maybe looking at the assassination of JFK, look at Trump's attempted assassination attempts and possibly Charlie Kirk's too, because, there's all kinds of things that are in that. So for us, as Anons, I think that Hugh has taught us to critically think. And especially when a false flag event is going on, sometimes it's hard to critically think because we as humans think from our hearts, thank goodness we think from our hearts as well.
Yeah.
And so it's a balancing and thank goodness, thank the creator of all created things that we have each other to go through that together and to be able to process that, because I think that's what we see at this is people were coming, we saw the Anons going, hey, this is going on, wait a minute, and so we were also trying to process it, but also process it with you and then also report it accordingly, because that was another thing that was really honestly and with integrity and not get into the conspiracy parts of it without us being able to look at it. And so that was also a part of it. Like we had to necessarily not report on the things that some of the Anons were saying because we needed to check it out first. And so that was a balancing act of integrity, I think, with journalism that I've never experienced before or thought that I'd be in that place.
What sounds like white hat type stuff.
So anyways, I thank the creator of all created things for that opportunity to go through that and experience that, live with all y'all and to come to where we are now and looking and re-examining and how do we go forward with other false flag events that we may have happen.
Yeah.
And this means also, and then to also for us, to examine like the things that we're looking at, we have to, as Anons, we have to make sure that what we're reporting on has substance, has sauce, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of spoken that we need to always have that credibility, especially if people
Yeah.
are watching us. So Mel's kind of what I meant by white hat is, white hats know information, and you can just have to selectively kind of release certain information. And even and like Tim and I too have kind of always like held the line on some of the stuff, and y'all we do lots of live stuff, so things can happen. We've had some different squabbles, but Tim and I, this brotherhood, sisterhood, this Q movement, we usually like squash things out in the back end because we've been attacked so much in this movement, guys. It's hard to even explain. It is almost like a PTSD. I mean, I can tell you from the get-go, from every different tactic you can imagine, from the troll, all the bots and trolls on the line in the early days, but then the infiltration and Telegram voice chats, then farther people that get really close in your orbit and it trips you out. You know what I mean? So anyways, it's been
one of the things that Sean says is we're in the Q refugee camp there in Telegram. And
yeah,
that's where we really built these relationships to be able to trust each other and to know each other, and then to just express and to be able to be emotional and to lift each other up.
It's important.
And I never thought that I needed that. I thought that I was good, and Q taught me that that's what I need, is that type of a community and fellowship to be with.
Beautiful.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
So this week to revisit this again. So I kind of forgot this part. So Tim remembered this more than I. And just to kind of recap too, even just reflect on the whole year, So I'm in Alaska here. We're doing the show. We started, and because of my schedule, we were able to start the daytime show. But even looking back at the full year, 1 year ago, I was in Reno, Nevada. Then I went to Alaska, and now I'm out here. It's like crazy that I've been in 3 different locations, and we've done different things with the show and all this stuff. It's really wild to
time travel's fun, eh, brother?
Exactly. And we're gonna do it again here. So to recap on my perspective, guys, I'm telling you too, like I have a pretty good sense of the clock in my head. Sometimes, when I need to. A lot of times I forget it, intentionally. But when I was I knew a rough time. So I was getting ready, and I was coming up, and I was expecting it to be my time would have been 11:10. Again, interesting timestamps or whatever. And then, anyways, I was 17 minutes later than I thought it was going to be. And then, so here's this awkward start. I don't even remember it. This is going to be really interesting to relive for myself. And Tim, we can recap, and then we'll go to the end of the X22 when you report it live after this. Okay. Yeah. Anything else to add for context on this?
No, but just it was almost like if you think about the JFK assassination, it's one of those times in history that you'll remember it like it happened yesterday.
Yes, remember where you were.
Speaking of time travel or time warp or whatever you want to call it, timelines. I mean, it's those that are old enough to remember when it actually happened in real time with JFK, obviously, and of course we were live, just starting our live Q school that day. When Charlie Kirk was gunned down, and you're going to see in real time how we kind of went through it. I mean, the emotions,
interesting
stuff, and we're trying to figure and sort it all out, just like everybody else. But it was a shock. It was a shot heard around the world. Another one. We've had a number of them.
Yeah. So anyone, we weren't planning this necessarily. This happens on Q School. If you're watching live, maybe send this out. Anybody likes Charlie Kirk, let them know we're going to cover this. Or even if you don't mind on X, maybe repost the live and just say, Charlie Kirk. This is really interesting. I'm super curious about this, so I appreciate that. Help us.
And also remember, because it does jive with today's title, "The End of the D Party." This is part of the violence.
This is why we're
political violence that we're seeing unfold 100%. Before our very eyes. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, just going back to the State of the Union tied in Erica Kirk being up there, not everybody knows what we know, you know? And so it's like we maybe have closer seats to the theater so we can see the strings being pulled by the puppet masters.
Yes.
So we have a different viewpoint than someone that's way up in the back and, they can't see all that. So just have patience with those that can't see it the way that we see it, And so, going back to all the things that he had, can you imagine celebrating? And Trump showed them, they're not celebrating America's first, right? They're not celebrating the will of the American people. And they're celebrating, instead of someone that 100 years that, this man was alive and not honoring that is just obscene. And then as well as Charlie Kirk, can you imagine being that's okay to have her husband assassinated in that way? So I think Trump, as he does, brings all these things to light and shows it and exposes it, and that really is the end of the deep party.
Yes. And it is the deep dark world being exposed, guys. So again, welcome to being a digital soldier and on years ahead of the news and different things like this too. And that's what I mean. Congrats to all the, you know, the newer ones out there doing your digging, the reels. That's all really good. And then also just be mindful with the information, you know, just again, just be grounded with everything, because people are going to be seeking us out, you know. So just like you're helping a child learn to go crawl to walk, you know, you gotta like let them what they're ready for. That's why asking questions is always good, because then you're not forcing anything.
And this is what someone told me once. He said, you know, because I tend to have like gorilla red pills, and, Sasquatch red pills. I like come up with these huge, I go, come on, you know, to swallow it. And no one can take that. So, you know, a little bit of milk, a baby can't swallow or digest meat. You know, it has to take a little bit of milk, a little bit, you know, kind of often. So just little, you know, like little things. You don't have to awaken them up to all the things. It's really up to them to awaken to the things, right? So don't do what I have done in that Sasquatch red pills, or, you know, to start cramming meat down a baby's throat.
Yeah, good point. Really good point. And what I really love about Q School, and that we've stayed on mission and on track, is that, you know, we try to tie the daily news to the Q board, the Intel board, and that's how we open our discussions. And, you know, we try, you know, the future does prove past in many, many cases, and we try to prove that on a daily basis. And that, again, it's I'm just repeating myself, and I said this, I think, on one of last week's shows, is that that, you know, I've always said, in order to stay grounded and to stay sane in this insane world that we're living through, the upside down world that we're in, with all the psyops and all the different things, false flags, and you name it. But in order to stay grounded, it's good to stay refreshed and daily within the Q drops, because the Q drops are helping you paint that picture, you know, that 40,000 foot view. And it does, it's not that it takes the emotions out of you, it just teaches you how to think logically versus emotionally. But there's always going to be emotions. We cannot, right? Yeah.
And that's what part of processing it is as humans. That's part of our experience, is having these beautiful emotions. And that's why we have a community, so that we can bounce off each other and help each other. It's kind of what we're all talking about here. Right.
That's right.
And then,
well, and I also think it's even, you know, it says it in the Q post that like the highest form of military intelligence is speaking to you, you know. So think about that. Like if Q plus is Trump and he has spoken through the Q boards, which I believe he has, and we've shown that, then we are truly these digital soldiers that are have a mission. And so together, you know, we can work through that in our barracks. You know, I kind of feel like in the refugee camp is, you know, we're still in prison, and we're not prisoners. We are really soldiers. So these are barracks and, you know, Command Force Central 1, or however you say that. You know, this is where, you know, we come together and we work it out. So, you know, that's important then to know like what the commander in chief and the Q team is trying to say to us, you know, as digital soldiers. I think.
Well, speaking of that, if you don't, oh, sorry, Melzie, if you don't mind bringing up the Q egg for a second and type in "you have been provided." You just type in "you have been provided," and that's based on what Melzie was talking about.
And it's interesting you said to go back to the Q jobs, because something, before I bring the screen up, something the Q jobs does really well, though, guys, is navigating the waters of having all this high level information. That's why they say 40,000 foot view need to reduce altitude, because if they talked about all this stuff, people would have said, oh my God, it's crazy conspiracy. They already do. And it's all grounded in like Obama flying pallets of cash to freaking Iran and Iraq and all these different places, and Epstein Island, right? It's all grounded in this information, but it guides you back and forth. When they get close to topics, then they back away a little bit, you know, and they come back, and it's like this flow. And that's really how this whole awakening goes. And that's the beautiful part about the Q drops and the deltas. And that's why that's more alive than ever before. This is the Q operation, y'all. If you haven't been paying attention, these drops are for now. Wait till you see this dig with the activation code. And Tim and I, you know, it was actually on that 222 episode, Tim, which we do need to play sometime, when we started really realizing it was quantum, because there's that JFK post with in the image.
You're talking about Stormy Patriot Joe decode, the Stormy that I dropped this morning. Stormy.
No. This is from when we did a show years back. It's a Q post with it's actually Donald Trump Jr. in there saying that the party that was JFK's party, I'm messing up, and he says, you know, the immigration. I'm just gonna find it because you'll understand. But
Well, you don't know this, but this morning before the show, I posted a 4.5 minute clip from Stormy Patriot Joe bringing up the activation code.
Okay. So that's the that we want to, and then I think we're linked up with this because I saw that, and then Tim. So we're gonna play that. I got just a black screen though. What's going on here? Is that me?
So anyway, on the cue board, you are being provided, or you have been provided. I forget. Just say. I'm trying to get to that cue drop that Melzie was referring to with the intelligence. You remember that cue drop, Kyle?
Yeah, but something's going on with my get the grandma's out. I gotta hop out for just a second.
Okay, yeah, no problem. We gotta fix that computer somehow, Melzie. I don't know what to do, what to save it. Yeah, that's okay. I'll keep talking to everybody. Welcome to Q School, everybody. If you're joining us a little late, thanks for joining us here on February 25th of the Lord's Year 2025, and we're doing a recap of last night's State of the Union and other things too. But today's title is The End of the D Party. We're witnessing it in real time, and the whole world's watching. Kyle, are you back?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see here. Okay, now I got the buttons. Let's see here. I don't know what's going on out there. Okay, so I have X up. So, but what did you say? What was the search, Tim?
It's either going to be you are being provided or have been provided.
Let's try that one. Let's see. Okay, if you X posts, you're being badly with the tweets. I'm going to skip all that. Provided highest level intel 520. Oh, this Q drop. I know this one. Huh? This is a special Q drop because this one's embedded in one of the March 4th Q drops, which we're going to cover more as we come back to that date. Embedded in there. This is a big one. Is this one you're talking about, Tim?
I believe Melzie was referring to that. Yeah, this is what made me think of the Q drop, and I think there's a couple of them like this.
Okay. You want to read this one?
Sure. It says, we are fighting for life. We are fighting for good. We are at war. Not everything will be clean. Scare necessary event. Do you trust the U.S. military? Do you trust the chain of command? Have faith. We are in control. Patriots, Patriots Day. Have faith. You were chosen for a reason. You are being provided the highest level of intel to ever be dropped publicly in the history of the world. Use it. Protect and comfort those around you. Where we go one, we go all. Q. Melzie, that's the one right there you're referring to.
Yeah.
Boom. And this one's interesting. Here's what the proof is right here is chain of command. So this Q drop's embedded in a March 4th Q drop. And it was about the National Geographic had a show about the military, something. And in that video, there's a Q mug in there. So that's where that's from.
Well, it's interesting we're bringing back the Charlie Kirk Q School Day because scare event necessary or scare. What did it say in this Q drop?
Yeah, scare. Let me get back to it.
Scare necessary event or something of that.
Oh, scare necessary.
Could you just put right there a second for me?
What do you
just go down. I want to see the you have been chosen part.
Okay.
You were there, and then the where. Perfect. And give me
Oh,
1
screenshot,
second.
Yeah. So I'm glad Melzie brought that up today because that's really important. And that's really the bigger picture stuff. This is how important the Q Intel board really is for all of us. Whether you believe in it yet or not, eventually it will come your way and your mind will accept it in some form because it just starts to make sense. And it does help. It helps you get through the fog of war. That's what it's done for all of us that have been following it for many years. And it just keeps you grounded.
Well, you know what I thought I saw was, when it says it's going to be biblical, it says have faith, and then it also says pray. And so those are a part, I think, of a spirituality. And faith is something like really that is you just have a belief in things that are to come, a hope that you like a hope that you will not turn away from, and knowing that it's coming. That's faith. And so it's not like, oh gosh, I hope it'll happen, maybe, I don't know. No, we have faith. We know through the Q posts and all the Q proofs that whatever is in it, and the timing we don't understand. Like, we're not date faggers here. We've all probably gone through that where we have been maybe and gotten burned by that. And so we just trust the plan. We don't know the plan, but we know pieces of it, maybe like pieces of the puzzle. right? So that's why when things happen like code activation or the code, or we talk about the end of the D party and we're like, this is it, we know it. So we can report on things like that and tie in the Q post to the proofs. And we're the ones actually that it's not like the Q team gives us these crumbs, right? And then we're the ones actually that come together. And that's what's so unique about Q School, is other shows are just kind of reporting their decodes. And we actually work through all decodes together. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. And we highlight everyone. Here's one. Here's a Q School special just for our family right here. Check this whole, watch this. Stay with me on this one. I'm going to try to do it all in one. Okay, here's the Q drop we just did. Q drop 521. This is January 13th, 2018. I believe the Insurrection Act, one of them at least, was signed on January 13th, even 2021, but possibly before that. Anyways, just to mention that date. Look at that. We get two 18s here, right? What letter of the alphabet is 18, Mel?
R.
R. We got two R's on there. I was gonna say Q plus is Jack and John. Oh, who else could be 22? But then, so here's the Q drop. We're fighting for life. We are fighting for good. We are at war with I always interpret that as like social media, YouTube, censorship, everything else. But always have your own interpretation yourself too. Not everything will be clean. It's been pretty messy along the ride, hasn't it, Anons? Can we
Well, that would be the digital soldier reference right there too, right? At online, like all the heavy lifting that we're doing online.
Yeah, and that's where we're at war. That's the digital soldiers. So got nice confirmation like that one, Tim. Because what's our new acronym? Shout out Adam Charles Brand. Share this one around. Please shout out Q School again. We all share the digs together. But the POTUS. What's another acronym? Because we always go deeper around here for POTUS there, Tim.
Well, there's President of the United States, and then there is People of the United States.
People of the United States. How many Anons show the thing POTUS is well insulated? Have you read it now with that perspective? Woo, doesn't that change some things? That's the beauty of the Q drops. Check this out, though. Here's this Q drop. We're talking about, do you trust the military? Hoo-yah? Do you trust the chain of command? Hoo-yah? The commander asked. Have faith. MelzieKaye said, we are in control. White hats and Tim 17s out there have been telling you. Patriots, we're telling you, our day coming. Have faith. You were chosen for a reason. That's why you're here, my brethren and sisters. You are being provided the highest level of intel to ever be dropped publicly in the history of the world. Use it, protect it, and comfort those around you. Where we go one, we go well. Okay, when you do now, we're going to go full Q-tard and Q School Q-tard. Simple English gematria. Do you know what where we go one, we go all is? Mel or Tim or anybody? We're going to put that one in. Comes to 218.
Wow. Oh, wow.
218. Where we go one, we go all. We just showed the 218s, 22, 18, 18 on the timestamp. Okay. It's going to get more fun, though, so stand by. You got a picture of that?
Yep.
Okay, because this one is John. I think it's F. Oops. Kennedy Jr. spelled out 218.
Wow.
Okay. And 4 words, 18 letters. Now, Tim, what did you say was happening with this incident with the Charlie Kirk? It was something. What's that T word? That TT. So everybody says it's Trump Tower. TT can also be time travel. Tim highlighted the old Q's instead of O's. The best thing ever to ever happen. Now everybody does it. Shout out Mag 5 here, because Q School time travel is also 218.
Oh my God.
3 words, 17 letters. Also, when the world shut down on COVID. Also, how do you like me now? And, I'm getting super chills on this. We're going to go full Otis. Is General Apex still in here? Speak up if you're out there, because he's talking about a little bit higher up. Where do I want to go with this? Never mind.
Come on.
Okay, we gotta do it.
Do it.
I'm gonna just tease it, okay? Because I was just mentioning March 7th. There's a Save the Children march on March 7th, I guess. I seen this from General Apex comments, okay? I said comments there, that's odd. We're gonna do QJOP 2998. Okay, this is for the autist. I'm not gonna read this whole thing. We're not going full autist. It's dropped on March 7th, 2019. Heads up there, heads up diggers, anybody out there, timestamp this too. March 7th is the date of Snowden 2. Snowden II or Snowden 11, Snowden 2. March 7th, 2017, Snowden 2. This is 2 years later, March 7th, 2019. This is for the full autist. I'm not going to do the whole post because I want to get back to what we're doing. March 7th, 2019. Okay, 193108 on the timestamp. Kicking out right now. Where do I want to show on this part though? Oh, right here. He messes up the date. In post 2993, March 7th, 109. Okay. Shit, I thought it was supposed to be March 17th. So the year's 109. I'm not even gonna go on those digs. There's a couple examples. 17 spelled out, simple English gematria, is 109. 109 military Q jobs. 45 Michael Q jobs. First Michael Q job is Q job 109, Archangel Michael prayer. Also many others. Alpha Squad 45, PT 109. Now I'm going to go down that route. Okay.
So I need you to just now, if you could, please go to Diggers and go all the way to the bottom. Okay. And look at the timestamps and how many people are in the chat.
Right now. Okay. I got to
Right
show
now.
this one right now. I got to keep Diggers closed most of the time because there's too much stuff going on there.
Because I was like, come on, because you hit like 107. And then I was like, oh, okay, at least, we got 107. I'll drop the other 107 into. So.
Oh my gosh, look at that. 109.16 on the timestamp. You guys seeing that?
Yep.
Look at that. 109.16 and then 71 on there.
Yes.
And there's the 109.
Yep. And that was exactly when I was like, I was I was kind of like, and then you said 109. I was like, oh my gosh, it's 109. But then go back to the one on the bottom.
Okay, here's the next one.
And this one, look at the timestamp on this one.
108, 32,
Yep.
71. So we got the 18 back in there too. That's crazy.
So anyways, there you go.
Yeah. So anyways, so March 7th is the Snowden drop. So March 17th, there could be a time travel situation here. If we have 10 days darkness from March 7th to March 17th, COVID lockdown March 17th, there's a Save the Children rally or something coming up for March 7th. I seen it from General Apex. So one thing I want to talk on that real quick is talking about having you can't have closed carry, open carry. Listen, guys, that stuff we are divinely protected from. We need to shed that lower vibrational frequency. Okay, a lot of the stuff you guys seen out there is more theater than you realize. It's so easy to fake all this, and we're going to show this with Charlie Kirk. This is high level shit. You think it's hard to like show somebody getting beat up or somebody being a hoodlum. We have more people on the board than you realize. Okay, so don't even like that. Attracts like. Okay, we are about love and freedom, and we have a protection around us. This is for the children. I know you have a good heart by wanting to protect by having a weapon in case there's a crazy. But we ain't got to go there. You know what I mean? They're not even around. We're protected in more ways you understand. The military is waiting for us to take our countries back, ladies and gentlemen. You are the commander of your own vessel. Each and every one of you. When you understand that there is no authority over you other than you and your God himself. Understood? However you understand that. Okay, that's the highest authority, the supreme commander. Then down on Earth here, it seems to be this DJD character as the military is soon looting him around the world. 109 spelled out 91. Okay, so was there something I'm missing here? The timestamp. Okay, Q School Travel, though. I want to show this one. Q School Time Travel 218. Thank you, Mag5, by the way. Susan Calloway.
There is one other thing, too,
awesome.
that we found today that ties into the State of the Union and the Q post, if we could check it out. It's like a little 5-minute video.
Oh, yeah. That's what Tim was talking about? So we're definitely going to play that?
No, I don't know that Tim has seen it, but you and I looked at it. It was the guy that did the activation code.
Yes, it's Stormy does that. It was Dan,
Stormy Patriot Joe. Yeah.
Stormy Daniels Patriots.
So maybe we could watch that little thing because he goes into it, and then we could stop it. Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely going to. So
can we do that? So,
you want? Yeah.
Let's do it now.
Right now?
Now.
Okay, so I guess we were teasing everyone with the Charlie Kirk. You got the full autism reel, guys. Hope you're with us. Let me close out some of these tabs so I can see. Go ahead.
Yeah. We'll go back to the Charlie Kirk episode, the beginning there, where that's the time travel stuff that you're talking about and the weirdness of it all.
Right. Yes.
And we witnessed it live. Yeah.
And let me actually just. With all these things we talked about, I want to close out this damn Facebook thing too. We're going full circle. All right, it's fine. I'll leave it open. Okay, now I know.
Is there smoke coming out of your computer yet?
It's burning up here. Burning up.
Yep.
Let's see here. I get the orgonite out. Okay. What was it like for? So what are we gonna do?
Can we go down? What would you like to do, Tim? Do you want to go watch the rest of that, or what? Or the Charlie Kirk thing, or would you like to watch the activation code?
You can go either way with this because as long as we do one and the other, or vice versa, think mirror. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Maybe we could do the activation code.
Okay, she wants to do the activation code. Let's do it. Is this connects to State of the Union?
Yeah.
Remember what that code I tell you? We told you Gematria. Susan Calloway had the one from the beginning. These people are crazy. That's gonna be interesting. So is that video in our Telegram?
I dropped it in Diggers.
Okay, Diggers it is.
Yeah, and that's the same video I dropped this morning, Melzie. So we're right on the same path here.
Perfect. So this one, okay, just give a second. I think this one going in. Stormy Patriot, you got this on X? I think this should still work. It'll be fine. Okay, so we ready to, here we go. So, okay, so this is a decode, some are anon stuff. Again, I already know I have more to this, so I'm even going to add for you guys. I barely saw, it was like corner of my eyes, seeing like some of the stuff that the digs are going on here, right? I'm excited to watch like Engaged, because he doesn't mention the time difference. And he also doesn't have the thing up. Shout out Mr. Smith, QAG creator, that's taught us. You put on the thing so you can see the dates between. It's going to be interesting because they don't have this part. I think this is operational security, because also time travel. Think about these Q drops right now when we read them. I always say that for you guys. You know, I explain what was happening then, how it's relevant, how it was a proof. But read these drops right now. That's how they're meant to be. The activation code was last night also, okay? And I tweeted something right before the calm before the storm. Hope you guys are paying attention. This is going to be fun. All right, so got this video. Stormy Daniels Patriot, I'm going to call him. We finally get to meet Joe M. Is it Joe M? Isn't that supposed like Joe M?
No, Stormy Patriot Joe.
Is okay, but is that the same? Well, it used to be Joe M. We think, or no?
No. Stormy Patriot Joe is he's one of the guys I followed almost from the very beginning. Also, back in the days of X22 Report, Praying Medic, and such. And Stormy Patriot Joe was very famous for coming out with these short video clips on Twitter back in the days.
Okay,
he always had.
I feel like he has the same profile. Sorry, Tim. Finish what you're saying.
No, he just always had these quick decodes, and his voice is always very catchy. He's he's very sharp. Like you can tell how he's connecting dots. So I really appreciated over the years all the decodes that he's done, and he's right on track.
Has he ever showed his face?
Yeah, he's on. He and Absolute 1776 have a Q show.
Weekly. Is that the Treason channel?
Absolute. It's called Absolute Storm.
Okay, Absolute Storm. The truth. That's who I retweeted. Woo! Where's the internet? Y'all watching? Go see one of my last.
They used to be on that. They used to be on Badlands, but now they've gone out on their own. They left Badlands, and now to fill the void on Badlands, you've got Josh and what's his name? The ex-cop there. I forget his name, but they have
people know that. Yeah,
they run the Q Disclosure and DEFCON 0, the two Q shows. Cool.
So check it out, though. Here's the decode. Check out the dates and stuff. We'll go over that, and we'll go into it more here, too. This is me exciting, but we're going to watch with y'all. Here we go. This is ready. I forgot to click it, though.
Whoa, did we get a confirmation on the activation code? Let's take a look at what I'm saying. Okay, so here it is. It starts here. This was before the State of the Union address. Scavino had put out this tweet asking, and he's focusing, keep in mind, this is a focus, all right? How long will the President's State of the Union speech be tomorrow night at the U.S. Capitol? 30 to 60 minutes, 60 to 90, 90 to 120, 120 plus. That was cute as well by Dan, extra eyes on it. And just like Gizmo was like, yes, that's the thing, timing. So Dan is talking about timing of the speech, which Q already had given us back in 558, January 19th, a previous State of the Union speech back in 2018. Timing is everything, State of the Union. Okay, so let's keep going. So I was saying I picked up on some comms that I think we're going to get the activation code. Maybe it has to do with what's going on in the Middle East. We'll have to see what gets activated, but I'm pretty sure something just got activated in the speech. And let's take a look at what I'm talking about. So this was me, 2 days ago. This was on. I posted this on the 22nd. I said, take a look at QSCHQQL. Connected to a few other things. That timing is everything from Gizmos is one of them. Okay, so this was connecting back to the 2018 timing is everything, State of the Union. And the State of the Union speech back then was on January 30th. And Anand had said, hey, POTUS's speech was inspiring the day after. But Q came back and said, hey, listen, timing is everything. Did you miss the most important line in the entire speech, activation code? So I posted this for this year saying, are we going to get an activation code in this year's 2026 State of the Union? And everything that we have going on in the Middle East, we're right on the precipice of some big time action. I'm not saying I'm positive that's what it will be, but makes the most sense. All right. But here's how it wraps up. So the speech was tonight. It's done. Go to Twitter. And so we're looking for a connection to this activation code QSCHQQL that I just read about the speech. All right. Timing is everything. Timing. So Duporn says, hey, check it out. The speech was 107 minutes. And okay, so I gronked it, and sure enough, it was an hour and 47 minutes or 107 minutes, according to multiple sources right there, Politico, CNN, and others. All right. Now, Kimberly Hour says, hey, wasn't Stormy Patriot Joe looking for a code, an activation code? Look what Q107 reads. Whoa. Code. May God also grant all of us the wisdom to ask what concrete steps we can take to reduce violence and weaponry amidst. Note, when we just sent the go orders and when this tweet went live. Coincidence? Pray Q. Holy cow. The speech, 107 minutes. What's the chances that that hits exactly to this go order code that we were looking for on Absolute Storm on February 22nd when we put these things all together, saying pay attention to the speech. We might get a go order connection. I don't know. We'll have to see what the next day or two looks like. I'd see. My best guess is, things go hot in the Middle East, but could be something different. We'll just have to see. Let's see what happens. We'll go through this again on Absolute Storm, 6 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night, and we'll talk soon. Stormy Patriot Joe out.
Hoorah! Well done, Stormy. You there, Kyle?
Yep.
You're muted.
I'm
You're muted.
back.
Yeah.
Got me? Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay,
Loud
yeah.
and clear. 5-5.
Okay. Right on. Let's see here. Okay, so yes, awesome code or just decodes. I don't know where we want to go in that just yet. Or we should some of it.
What do you want to add to that? Is there something you want to add?
Let's just do it. Let's do a Q thing here for a second. All right, so on QAG, so I'm gonna go with Brittany's timestamp. I'm interesting how you got the exact second timestamp, but I'm gonna go with her timestamp, which is it would be 01 47 and 44 seconds. Now, I think you can put an exact timestamp like that on QAG. The more the old way, this still works, just basically how his search function works. Let me just let's see what happens. I do have Trump's X post up, so that'll be interesting. That came in. Okay, so zero posts with that. Let me just do the. How's it time? I think it's the same way. It was it. Anything? I'm gonna do the time. I think you do it like shoot. How do you do that? No, I don't want to do that. So we'll do that. Let's do activation code. Activation code. Because in the video, okay, so here's a great example too of some of the stuff y'all maybe learned from us teaching about the State of the Union from last night, or at least I picked up too, is how the dates changed. I didn't know about the dates and stuff. Very interesting. And also because Trump said this was his fifth State of the Union. I don't know if we played that clip or if that was something we talked about Mel in the back end or something, but generally if people do give a speech in their first year, they don't always, it wasn't technically called the State of the Union, right? But Trump called his the fifth, which if he never stepped away, he would be just taking another one anyways. So there was some interesting stuff with that. Let's bring that down. Thank you for the gematria on that. And then
He did. He slipped up a little bit last night about the 1, 2, and 3 terms last night too. If you guys caught that, there was that one little incident where he mentioned second and third term.
Okay. So I'm going to show you. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we had that somewhere too. So let me go just the keyboard, and I searched activation code. See, that's what happens to you. See something in your mind. I thought there was 2 with activation code. I am on QAG, so be mindful of that. But where's it going? So it's cube drop 648, 10 more than 638, which this means this adds up to 18. Some of the things I noticed with my autist mind. 131. We always say Adam Charles Branch Spy Balloon, but actually John F. Kennedy 131. To any of the 2018 drops, I always make a connection to 218 there, or 218s. Same thing, because Q says 2018 will be glorious. Why was it so glorious? Interesting. Okay, negative 48 said glorious revolution, and then we'll have a glorious demolition, right? And then we'll have a glorious country. Okay, we'll have a glorious demolition, then we'll have a glorious country. I think each one's 116. Glorious demolition 116, glorious country 116. So both together is 232. Hopefully I did that right. Shout out for the gematria people. And then 3 minutes 5 seconds. Oh, but see, okay, this was the only one I found. So I'm actually going to search now. Timing is everything, because there was only one activation.
Look what it says above, though. What does it say above?
A POTUS speech, and it's lowercase too, if you think about that. Interesting, because all caps, right? The United States of let's see, President of the United States, all caps, that would be the corporation, right? So this one would be the people of the United States, which I guess maybe U.S. would be capitalized. I don't know. Interesting what we were just talking about. Seemed like a confirmation.
Well, don't forget what we decoded yesterday by the show. But what we did yesterday, sorry, Melzie, was that we figured out by reading all that description of what the actual State of the Union represents and how it's based embedded within the Constitution, is that that is a direct way for the President of the United States to speak directly to the people of the United States.
And he called that out. Go ahead, Ben.
So let's go to the comments real quick. So let's go back up just a second.
So while she's finding that comment, though,
hold up a second. So Brittany Stover says he arrived at 9/11.
Okay, just slow down. Hold on. Everybody catch up with you now, Mel. So everyone, okay, Brittany Stover. We also used to always do those comms. Tim always kept track when they grabbed the mic. So Brittany Stover saw he arrived at the podium at 9/11 Eastern time.
So then let's go to the timing is everything is 233.
233 timing everything.
But then right here. So let's talk about, we just talked about the activation.
Okay.
So it's 11:11. So just remember the ones, right? Activation code 1381111 equals a start plus 27 is JFK. Donald Trump equals 138. Okay, so and I thought, well, can you pull up QPost? Would you mind pulling up QPost 138?
Yeah, and just how we covered that.
Just said something like here, all caps. We just talked about the corporation.
Oh yeah, the corporation. Okay.
So then let's go to 138.
All right, let's do that. And what else was I had with that? I'm gonna just go to this job before I lose my train of thought.
Thank you.
But we covered that because the plus was Scavino too. That's what I want to remember. Okay, and our timestamp
carriers, isn't it? The 138's the 4 carriers.
No, that's just 38. QPost 38. Right. Yes, we talked about that, Tim, because it was 38% on the plus. Q drop 38. It's the calm before the storm. And I put out a tweet before the State of the Union. You guys see what it is yet? Retweet it. Make sure I'll retweet it if you're paying attention.
So then it says what? 11:11, and then it's 5:5. 2332 is 5:5.
Oh, look at that. Nice. 5:5, 2332. And there's the 233
activation
and the
code,
322.
And then we go through, these are the world's banking systems, right? The central banking systems. And that's the corporations, right? It's the corporations. Of the corporations. They have a place to put their money. So is this possibly the key, here?
Nice.
Activation code, are they, is there something to it?
It even and this is the last one too, because there's multiple of these, so that's the extra interesting to me. The Fed and the IRS. Fact: U.S. Federal Reserve, not capitalized, is a privately owned company sitting on their very own patch of land, immune to the U.S. laws.
That's huge.
Yeah, can you highlight that? Thank you.
Yeah. So what a journey. Okay. So anything else to add on that, Dig?
Well, I think that's, right there. That's the key maybe to this activation code. Are when we start with like 1918 and they tell us about the Titanic and how that created the Federal Reserve systems and the banking systems, the central banking systems around the world, and the Rothschild family going around and, like the access of evil that George Bush Jr. was talking about was the countries that didn't have a central banking system. So that's where they went after them because they wanted them. And I think that Gaddafi was one of the people who wanted to restore wealth to the people, right? He wanted to have like kind of what Trump is doing now. So maybe that is the activation, is taking that down and replacing it with a new system. That's just my thoughts on it. What do you guys think?
I totally agree with you. And Trump actually mentioned last night that when he brought up the tariffs, and he was staring right at the Supreme Court justices right at the front row, and he basically said that there's going to the tariffs are going to remove income tax. He said that last night, folks. That was big. That was huge what he said in that one little clip, that one little line.
I don't think they even cheered on that either, right? Weren't they against that because he kind of called it out, and he because
right over a lot of people. A lot of people weren't paying attention to that particular part of it, but it's like, whoa, what did you just say, boss? He basically said, he not only said that and we that clip was played at the beginning of our show, Kyle, when he said that the debt can be eliminated the next day or overnight or however you said it. But a little later on in the speech or somewhere around that time, when he brought up the tariffs, he said that the tariffs will be a means of removing income tax. So there's
right. Yeah. And then that's why they weren't celebrating it, because it's all, we gotta hate tariffs. We gotta hate freaking tariffs. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Remember yesterday when we showed that little graphic that showed if you spent $1 million time, here's them
every single day since let's say 000 birth of Jesus, $1 million every single day. What is it? 1 trillion?
So back to what Melzie was saying, she's right on. Like when you go back in history, back in time, 1913 is when the Rothschilds, the private banking system took its roots, right? And they also added the income tax on top of that. That was all done in one fell swoop, everything. And that's what's going to be removed. And then part of the power of we the people is getting our stolen wealth back to us. And that's what Trump and the White Hats and and his cabinet members, and that's what they're all doing right now behind the scenes, is they're moves and counter moves, and they're basically twisting and turning and taking down bites out of the elephant, one bite at a time, and they're basically taking the stolen wealth as they take down the ultimate cabal and the globalists, these psychopaths, and that transfer of wealth will come to we the people of all countries around the world. That's what this whole thing is all about.
Yeah, I agree totally. And I don't know if you want to pull that graphic up again and look at it, because it kind of gives you a perspective of like, wow, how, and then it kind of makes you a little upset because here they are, they're taking this money, trillions. Their budget isn't like $1 million a year. Their budget is trillions a year. Like,
trillions, and we're at 38 trillion in debt.
Yeah. So Trump is actually, he's saying that he can take on this and get rid of this in a day. In a day.
So,
but that is because he took this money now and he's kind of reversing what they did, right? It's not like it was just one thing. He took the tariffs and he implemented it, and so we've had an accumulation of a wealth, right? And so, like, if a corporation is going to look at then distributing that wealth, that's not what should have been done. Like, if a country becomes prosperous, then we, the shareholders of that country, should receive the dividends of that. And that is what has been, instead of the dividends, we had to be like the investors of that country. And on the backs of the American people, we became like a burden that it was never intended to be. And so to take that on and transition people out of that is also a thing that you can't, I think, necessarily do overnight. And that's why it had to be done so long, like, but it isn't so long if you think about it.
Right, in the grand scheme. And he mentioned that. He actually, that just activated me there too.
That'll be in the closing part of his speech. We're
okay, 250 years. Okay.
Yep. He talks about this speck of time, this small speck of time is you know, and it's
relative.
He says we're basically, in a nutshell, he's saying we're just getting started, we're just getting warmed up, fellas. And
The golden age.
The golden
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
1,000 years
Yeah.
of peace.
So yeah, I love that you brought that up, Melzie, because it's really important for our audience, for people to understand that the direction that we're heading is going to be one of the most spectacular futures, the most spectacular things that we could ever have for our children and grandchildren, great grandchildren, like future generations. And it's also part of the end of the D Party, because the D Party has been embedded and infiltrated into the system many, many decades ago. And the jig is up. The jig is up. And last night was showcasing that. Like Trump, the boss, perfectly showed the whole world what these psychopaths are all about. And for anybody coming into the midterms to vote for a Democrat, that 4 to 6% that's lost forever, Kyle and Melzie, that's in the Q drops. If we're only dealing with 4 to 6% when it comes to voting, that means I'm looking at a red tsunami. I don't know about you guys, because if only 4 to 6% are left to vote these Democrats in, what's left for the rest of us, the America First candidates? Full power.
And I had this thought too. We are the digital soldiers, and think Trump honors the soldiers, right? He put this beautiful 100-year-old soldiers, and it may seem like, it's taken so long and it's hard and oh my gosh, I've lost so much, because you do. As a soldier, you go off to war, you leave your family, you lose people you love, you lose people.
Purple heart. I already got my Purple Heart right there. There's my, where is it? I couldn't get it in the light. There it is.
I love it.
That's my Purple Heart right there.
And so just think, our children, maybe someday some of us will be at the State of the Union in some way, and those people that we helped save will honor us in some way. So it's not for naught.
I forgot one more. 109. Thank you for that, Mel. 109 people can seat at the ballroom in the new ballroom from the White House. Look at this beautiful one. Mag 5 just fine. How do you not stand 233? Let me get the gematria up for anybody to still watch out. Whenever we're doing numbers, just recap for people. This is simple English gematria. Not gonna get it if y'all are gonna talk about Hebrew stuff. It's simple English. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. When you add all those things up, then you can get the numbers, right? This is what it also teaches you how to do math, and it's good for your brain, and then you learn different codes and stuff like that. So how do you not stand 233? What's the other one she had? Then timing is everything, right? Let me scroll up and find that one too. Timing is everything. 233 right there. Okay, so check this out. The decode with full QTAR decode that we've been going with. We bring your comment down. I'm going to bring this Q drop up. The one that Mel was talking about, Q drop 138. Full recap of all the things too, because we showed the Dan Scavino Q, or his 120 minutes plus. His graphic was after the poll. Stormy Daniels, since they did the day before, the poll wasn't done yet, right? But you'll pay attention, because the one Q drop I couldn't find at first with activation code, but it was with timing everything. We're gonna see this, but it was 38% was to vote on the 120 minutes plus. But was that correct, Tim, or no?
I believe you're right. Yeah, because we brought up Q drop 38, which is the 4 carriers in the Pacific.
Before the storm. Yep. So, and what I'm getting at there too was that his graph wasn't finished, and everyone kind of get, I picked plus, even myself, because it's plus, but it wound up being how many minutes? Class? 107. 107. That was kind of tricky, because an hour 47, but that's 107 minutes. Shout out Mag 5 one more time, because we got the gematria board up. I'm gonna go right back to the board for a second. I got gematria up here. So we just did the 233s, but some of the other ones was, remember, it's phase 2. We were talking about phase 2 of Epstein. If you do it 2, it's 51. White hat Q drop 51, but when you spell it out,
One Nation Under God 51.
One Nation Under God, the Q drop Tim's talking about, but phase 2 spelled out is 107, and we covered that before the event. And then we're going to show Q drop 107 also with the code. Pay attention, we're going full QTAR decode here.
And look at that. So hold on just a second.
109 on reverse too.
In 35.
35 reduction, 109, PT 109, and we did the 109 with that Q drop 2998 face. Now listen, this is the Q, in my opinion, Q school comms, and I'm just gonna straight up with you guys. I think we get these comms. We gotta bring that down. I got it. So try to regroup here for a second. These comms we get, right? Like we've been ahead of the president in the White House several different times. And this is like, to my understanding of the plan is like this inner consciousness, the quantum consciousness. Like I've had all kinds of posts over time. I'm going to try to get them all together prior to activations. We've had it on the Q School Lives, especially. We've highlighted several of them. Again, this weird time travel thing that happened with Charlie Kirk. We've been meaning to play that. We time traveled into another hour-long Q School. But
This past summer, we had a whole list of them, like one after the other after the other.
And that was even just the first couple of weeks too, because the first week we had one every day. That was their confirmation. And then the second week we had the flyover, but there was other stuff throughout the week, because I mean, one fun comm was Tim called me out on it because Tim announces Friday it's going to be, he's going to meet Putin in Alaska. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I'm living in Alaska, but it's super busy weekends, football season, whatever. I come back. I had no time to check any of I'm all day out there for 2 days. I asked Tim, have they announced where the thing's going to be on Monday? We meet. It's like I hadn't seen Tim since our show Friday. And he's like, no, they haven't. Or he's like, they haven't announced. I'm like, where it's gonna be. And I even say, Q Team just told me it's gonna be freaking the Joint Base Elmendorf. And Tim's like, oh, he's like calling it out. I'm like, well, that's good. And then, but the second day he asked me again, and he says, are you gonna? I'm like, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go on, because I was like, the more I thought about it, and I got the message, of course. But then later that evening, CNN finally breaks the news, and it says the meeting's gonna be at Joint Base Elmendorf in Anchorage, Alaska, right? But CNN specifically says CNN is the first news agency to report on it, and we were calling ourselves the news, and we already said it twice the day before. So that was, why would an article even specifically say it? Every now and then you see that, but again, the odds, mathematical, that they say that was me, the white hats, in my opinion, giving us more comms that you're on the right track. And then Tim said it would happen on Q School, and it did. Go ahead, Mel.
So
during Q School, excuse me.
So when the girls, so I was in a show called Hammer Time with Adriana Age and Jilski. So Adriana's one we talk about that has the 3 presidential pardons, and Jilski's also a great patriot. And so we had this thing called Hammer Time, kind of similar to Q School, but a little bit different with girls. And we had Juan O'Savin.
Juan loved all the girls. He sure loved all the girls. Imagine that, Juan O'Savin. Speaking of 107.
And so anyways, we were interviewing Juan, and we have the patch, and I just looked for it, but I can't find it. I'll have to search for it and bring it up. But Trump the next day put up the background of our Hammer Time with the
Q patch,
and he said, good job, Anons. And we were so excited because
nice.
we knew it was us, and so just, it's they watch us, and sometimes they're in our rooms, and sometimes they give us little breadcrumbs, but it's just a beautiful journey. And I believe that this is kind of, we are the plan. Like, so if we don't step up, like, who cares who anybody is, right? Honestly, it doesn't matter. So if we don't step up, then this is us. We're the most important asset and valuable treasure to this whole thing of the republic, is us awakening.
Amen.
United.
Here. Okay, so all right. Beautiful. And then so I'm going to go one last one. I'm not going to bring it up on the Gematria board, but how do you not stand 233? Okay. Now check out some of these comms here. So I'm going to go back one last time to the Q drop that Mel was specially highlighting is the 138. All right. So it's on 11/11, which that's an activation because the flyover happened at 11/11. And it says Trump meeting Putin 11.11. What are the odds of that? By the way, that Q drop number, I feel like it's 2397. I might be off on that. That was the call sign Air Force One that day. How many questions?
It also dead smacks that red tsunami Q drop that I'll always refer to, the 11.11 wartime manual, 11.10, 11.11.
Tim, that's the one I think I'm talking about with the JFK thing. Let me do, or no, okay, let me see here. Hold on.
Red tsunami. That's about the midterm elections, guys. It's coming. It's coming. Fast and furious.
And okay, so another thing that happened at 11/11 at exactly 11 o'clock was the armaments ending of World War I. into effect.
Oh, 11/11. Yep.
Yeah.
End of World War One. Now we just talked about that. Different connections.
So that's kind of interesting too, because that's kind of a world. Let's say these are world comms, maybe. You know what I mean? Like
the world is watching.
The world, and they use numbers in a way that we can't always understand. So maybe 11/11 is kind of a world comm, because they use that day too. I know that it's important for other things too, like in World War. World War.
Yeah, 11. I mean, and again, the flyover, and it's just like that woke a lot of people up. Seeing 11/11 on the alarm clock. This is quantum, spiritual war. This
I'm sorry,
awakening.
it was World War One.
World War. Yeah, I think you said that. It was World War One.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, there's lots of stuff that we can kind of dig into in November 11th. Yeah.
So no, we're not. So I'm going to go on a couple things here. We're going to, because then we also got to go to the rest of. So not do 11/11. So let me show this. Timing is everything, and because some of the things that he might have missed there, they're not missed. I was just in the moment. But because he shows this Q drop 558. What does that add up to? 18. Who's keeping track? 119. I don't know if Ann Jules is watching. Sessions spelled out simple English gematria comes out to 119. The commander comes out to 119. Timestamp 4508. It's also the 39th drop.
That's a hard 17 right there on the timestamp. Just saying.
Nice. I missed that one. 9 plus 8. 4 plus 5 plus 8 is 17. Altus brother keeping eyes on all this stuff for us. Q drop 39. Angel 39. Simple English gematria.
It's also 144 on the timestamp. Just had 57. So we just had 144 in there.
Oh, on our recording. Okay. Yeah. Timing is everything. And there's 8 of those on QAG. What's the number on Q alerts? I'm guessing it's probably going to be the same, although there's a really important Q drop that has timing is everything, but there's some special brackets in there. Who knows where the brackets are on that one? That's different. Timing is everything with a bracket somewhere. Okay. 3 letters. Okay.
And
now
I love how it says state _of_the union. That's right. That was a drop that I never even thought of yesterday when we were discussing the State of the Union.
Why do you think it's spelled that way?
Good question.
Because, well, like, when I'm typing something and creating a file, sometimes you can't have a space in between. So you create something like that to have all of it into one file. Do you know what I'm saying? On an image file?
That's a really good question, though. I'm not sure if anybody has a thought or an idea on why the 3 underscores there. Why is it separated that way?
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It makes it harder to search that too. That's where you'd have to do the multiply words. Also, that's part of the underscores. Like you can just search underscore. Maybe we'll do that next as an exercise because we still need another 17s. I still got to show the graphic too. But check this out. When he was doing the decode, Stormy Daniels Patriot. I'm sorry, I don't know the Stormy Patriot. I should know.
Stormy Patriot Joe.
Stormy Patriot Joe. And was the other one Alpha Warrior? Somebody asked maybe if it was Alpha Warrior.
Absolute 1776.
Oh,
and Alpha Warrior was the new Q's.
Okay. You were trying to remember the one
with Josh Reed. Josh Reed and Alpha Warrior. That's the name I was looking for.
Okay, yeah.
So, and then I didn't show it. I think I deleted already. But that Q job 130, the 138 that Mel highlighted with the banking, it ends with the Federal Reserve situation. The timestamp was 23:32. Mel brought that up right away. 55, understanding our comms, but it was also 233. It starts out 233, which is kind of mirror of Q School and then 322, but slightly different. But 233. Here's another one. 55th day of the year. Matt Galloway getting them going. And then another one though was how do you not stand, or how do you not stand was 233. And then the first one she had though was
Meg's on fire today.
No, it's 322. So it's a little. It's kind of like mirrored by number, but not like mirrored by properly. It's like, you know what I mean? It's an anagram mirror. Yeah. Timing is everything. Thank you. That was the big connection. Okay, so listen, timing is everything is 233, and then that timestamp on 1138, Q drop 138. Excuse me, was 223:32. All right, now when Stormy Patriot is doing the decode. He just mentioned, I was thinking the State of the Union was going to be the next day, but this is now the days in between. And I just looked it up. This is what diggers do. I'm a big time digger. I was able to Google it and figure out when the date was. It was January 30th. Okay. I was wondering, full text of President Trump's first State of the Union. You can just look that up there too. We can get some different details here, Mr. Speaker, Vice President, all that good stuff. Okay. So I looked that up. The point is the day. Okay. I wanted to make sure what the day was, because on Timing Has Everything, we go to 131 now, all the gematria. But now there's no mention of how many days in between that was. So here it is though, 12 days 20 hours, 53 minutes, 11 seconds. So, you know, you could go a lot of different ways with that, but it wasn't nothing that caught my attention so much, but it would be 10 days away.
It would be 8-8 on that because it was 20.
Oh yeah. Okay.
8-8.
But, and then 10 days anyways. Okay. So we'll leave it at that for now. I don't want to go too far that. And then I've posted this so many times. Tomorrow is Freedom Day. We were just reading that Q drop 521. Oh, I still have that up because I'm gonna go over here because look at this. This is the 521 Q drop. We're going full circle with everything. The scare event or scare necessary event. Do you trust the military? Do you trust the U.S. military? Do you
Oh, you muted. It muted you.
The gremlins are back. The gremlins are back. Patriots. Okay, I'm pretty sure this has freedom in there too. But you were chosen for a reason. So everything we talked about, Mel, and we just talked about the hardship.
And you were chosen because you chose.
You were chosen because you chose. I always say you want to be a chosen one. You got to choose yourself too first, and then you got to be, you know, like what's that beautiful saying? It's like, you know, God asked her and said, and you know, said, who shall I send? Said, I will go. Y'all said, I will go, whether you understood that or not. Okay. And that's why you're being provided this level of intel to ever be dropped publicly in the history of the world. Use it, protect it, comfort those around you. Where we go one, we go all. 218.
That choice to know will always be yours.
And comfort those around you, guys. Remember that.
So anyways, tomorrow's Freedom Day. Q posted a flag named Freedom tomorrow. D Day. Look at that. There's the D in the brackets. We were supposed to do some of those. We are going to do some because the end of the D party. Look at that. D of D. I don't even think I remember that one because they got OF in there. If it was DOD, you could have Department of Defense, Dungeons and Dragons, but it's D of D. So it's like Day of Days, you know, but why the kill bracket, the double D in here? That's really interesting to me. So that was a key part there. And then, but that's actually one post before. So this is actually timing is everything by an anon here. One job before Q. Who's paying attention? Okay, 647. The anon actually said timing, aka anon. Q said timing is everything. That's why Q's telling us right here. Q posted timing is everything as an anon here. Who's paying attention? And then 3 minutes, 5 seconds later, actually it's 7 minutes, 49 seconds later, 469 seconds later, Q drop 648. Anon here, POTUS speech was inspiring. This is the one you saw on the Stormy Patriot decode. Timing is everything. Did you miss the most important line of the entire speech? Activation code Q. What do you guys think the most important line of the entire speech was? I'll give you a hint. It was the very beginning of Simple Gematria, and it's where he points. He points at him just like with the human traffickers.
You people are crazy?
These people are crazy. I think is it these people? Now I got to double check the gematria because which one was it?
These people are crazy.
I think it is because I guess we're giving away the comms here. These people are crazy is 223. That's why this is the important part. Oh gosh, because we did the Q School anniversary. That means Stormy Patriot, this is how connected all the anons are, started that video one day before, or is on our anniversary. Excuse me. He does it on 22nd. Excuse me. 222. Then the thing is after not till 224. And remember Q School, the very first one, Tim, we went so late, it was 223, 224. So we kind of got some time travel there too. These people are crazy. We showed all the comms of that. And that might be the go code because, well, it's not might. But so now we're going to go back to, I guess we'll go to QDrop 107 now to follow this up. So activation code, entire speech. So let's go to the QDrop 107. We've gone full circle with all these different things. And 107's on November 5th. Remember, 5th of November. We get 959 in here. It's on Stormy's decode. They're on the Q alert, so it's 7:59 p.m. But 959 comms are in there again. Some interesting ones. Code. May God also grant all of us the wisdom to ask what concrete steps we can take to reduce the violence and weaponry in our midst. In our midst, Jesus said, God is in the midst of you, right? So we always want to point the finger their way. When you're pointing the finger at people, you're pointing 3 fingers back at yourself. So obviously we've also highlighted a bunch of these TARs, but we gotta get more centered, and we've all became tribal, no matter what, no matter how much you try. We gotta stick to being people and loving and having some common sense. And part of that is going to be having all this stuff continue to be exposed. Again, we got to have free and fair elections. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to unfold here. but how can we help mitigate stuff from our own people, right? I would recommend don't spread any of that stupid hate stuff or somebody getting beat up. So, I mean, again, I'm not minimizing if somebody got beat up, but it's also so easy to fake that for one. And think about the overall, the rest of the world, one person out of millions, no one's been harmed, but then you highlight this stuff and then people think about it. Then you're attracting that, right? We are where we go one, we go all. We're going to highlight the love, patriots, the stuff we're doing, our decodes. That's what Trust the Plan is. We're excited, having fun. If that isn't an answer, we're on the right track. We have fun and laugh along the way. Look at their side there, and they're in shambles. I mean, it's PTSD. I mean, I feel bad for them, but they've kind of chosen their fate and going through their journey, I guess. But
would you mind pulling with the Diggers? I dropped something real quick. I just want to.
Okay.
And don't forget many of them too on the other side, which is the patriots versus the hatriots. Patriots. They've been fully indoctrinated by the system, by the machine. The machine took them at a young age and taught them the evil side of the world that we live in. So they've been living through a whole different path than many of us have come up through, right? Just keep that in mind. So and Q has also alluded to the fact that the military, the white hats, are always giving the opposition a chance to get out of it. Like they're always reaching out with open arms. Like we can pull you out of that, that bee's nest that you're involved in. I forget exactly word for word how that Q drop goes, Kyle, but I know it refers to something along the lines of help me out here. It's something along the lines of, we can give you an out, something about we can give you an out, or there's a line to call or something like that. Do you remember that Q drop?
Yeah, some of the words you're using are a little bit off, so I'm kind of thinking.
Trying to remember how that one went. It's early on in the Q board too. But Melzie, what did you say you picked up?
Yeah, so just pull it up real quick. I want to tie this into being biblical again. So we just talked about having faith, and we're talking about activation code and what is it? I don't know if it's necessarily that's just kind of the decode that I've come up with, or we've come up with at this time. But if you pull it up, the last thing in Diggers, it says pray, and so maybe that's part of it. The code and all of this is to pray and to have faith and to pray. So maybe that's our decode that we get for today. Is we have 71 I see in the chat, and almost 107 or 157. We're it's just maybe that's what it is we have faith and we pray.
Yeah. And for the Q decoders, we also taught that yesterday. 351 A through Z, God communicates through number. Think mirror 153. Think mirror reflection 351, but also save the children 153. Save the children 153. So there's all the codes and comms we know. We're all doing all the things with that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, so I had a decode we're going to go back to, and then so Tim, full circle. If you guys, we talked about many things, but Tim, you'll remember this. This is the one that we did the special White Squall episode on. I'm pretty sure this was on my phone. We did White Squall, but it was also Red Wave, and it was on January 17th. So this was the Q drop I was referencing earlier. It's Q drop 1602. I couldn't remember what it was earlier. June 27th, 2018. There's the timestamp 12:45:55. Here it is, Donald Trump Jr. And this is full circle, everything that's going on right now, right? Congrats to the Democrats who, after last night, here's quantum for you guys.
Wow.
Congrats to the Democrats who, after last night, are now officially the party of impeachment, open borders, abolishing ICE, banning the Second Amendment, and unbridled socialism, now almost full-blown communism. The Democrat Party of John F. Kennedy is dead, RIP. I'm having a Mandela effect. I'm getting chills that this isn't how I remember it. I'm just going to say that.
Well, even Cindy mentioned in the chat too, and we all did notice it, was that button that Talib was wearing. It said F ICE. She was actually wearing the button right on her lapel saying F ICE.
Oh my gosh.
Live.
So listen to this whole decode here too. With this again, I'm having a Mandela effect. I don't remember the post like this. And Tim, my memory is pretty good on some things, and something's either the font changed, something's different. We'll have to watch all the recording. I could be because I thought it even started off with John F. Kennedy. This looks so odd to me. Like,
hold on.
But and it's at 11:44 a.m. Are you taking a picture or something?
No, I'm
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, but here's where Tim and I.
Stop. So
That matches our
27
title
is what?
today.
JFK, and
End
18
of
is
the
what?
deep.
R.
Yes, the end of the D party. And Tim, this is when we did that first episode. I almost want to find it on our thing now. Look at that timestamp. 12:32. There's the 232 again, and 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 almost.
Oh my gosh.
With the extra 2. Oh, this is how we did this. Okay, now listen to the date because we're gonna have to find this episode on 222. We did the one episode. What you got, Mel?
Okay, so look at the date up anonymous 6/27/2018.
Yeah.
And then you go down, and so did they just do it that same
Same
day?
day. Yep.
Okay,
Yep. June
so that's fine.
27th, 2018.
So 27 is what?
JFK.
And 18 is what?
Junior, there it is.
R.
And they're right next to
And
each
so it's
other. So
right
pay
there.
attention. Now we were coming up on February 22nd, 2022. We might even did this episode on that day. White Skull was January 17th. But if you look at this, the image name was 2222. Anybody know what QJob 2222 is? Relevant to news today in the news cycle. Oh my God, we almost got to show that. Go full tart on this. But we were in 2022, and we were like, oh my God. And now this QJob is originally from 2018. Remember, guys? Tim and I are doing a Q school on February 22nd, 2022. Or actually, it was, again, January 27th. That's the military industrial complex speech. And we're doing this red wave, white squall. This is when we figured out it's quantum because the midterms were coming up in 2022, and it seemed like a big deal, and it was. And Tim and I, that was part of what we were doing, right? So then this is 2222, and we're in the year 2022, and there's an extra 2, just like in this. Melzie talked about the timestamp. Look at, guys. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on, Mel. Hold on. Listen, there's an extra 2 in here. The extra 2, in my opinion, canceled out the 2 here. This is the Autis decode that made this 2022 to Tim and I, at least at the moment.
Okay, so go up again.
Hold on, let me finish this. This tweet struck me as odd, almost as if it were a marker of sorts. Marker, hello.
Okay. So
If you continue, Q says, if you continue to proceed down this dangerous path, only know that we are prepared. You should know this based on earlier drops regarding SA, National Guard, military assets activate U.S. soil. The D's missing because it'd be activated. We're missing that D in the kill brackets. The game is over when the public knows, guys. The fight to keep the lights off is all that matters to you, to them, really, but that's what they're trying to you. You'll fail. Oh, Q's talking directly to them. Excuse me. That's how these Q drops can be. So the fight to keep the lights off is all that matters to you. You will fail. The American people are awake. You lost control. Sheep no more. How many Q drops have sheep no more, guys?
17.
17. That's part of the board. We got to show that one just real quick.
can you just go up a
Sheep no more. 17 Q drops. There it is. 17 Q drops. Sheep no more. Rest is Q drops. You underestimated their resolve. That's us. And their ability to free think away from the pipeline narrative. We will declass. We will shine light. That's what's literally playing out before y'all, kids. And we are the declass. We are spreading the information. There is nowhere to hide. There's too much light on this planet. I was just talking about that yesterday and the other day. No amount of money, influence, or power can stop this. Our rights to secure and protect at all costs then become justified. We stand at the ready. Red wave, white squall, in God we trust. Q.
Okay.
Boom.
Well, white squall is where we go one, we go all, right?
It is.
Okay,
White
so can
squall.
you go up again to the timestamp?
Okay.
Because they're going to tie this all in. We're talking about JFK, I think, to Donald Trump here.
Okay.
So keep going up.
All right.
Okay, right. No, right there. So 12 1 plus 12
Timestamp.
32 is
3.
35, which is JFK. So we have 627, which is JFK's 27. Juniors are. So we have.
Okay, let's slow down. Let me help some people with that so we can track you. 27, simple English gematria is JFK. J 10 plus 6 plus 11 is 27. JFK, the acronym in simple English is 27. The numbers 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. JFK is the 35th president of the United States. Trump is the 45th. So we got both 35 and 45 in here. Of course, that all adds up to 17 also. What else you got, Mel?
That's what I got.
Beautiful.
And
Nice.
so that ties it all in because they're talking about, really JFK. to
Yes.
to Trump.
Time travel, all the above.
Yeah. All right.
Well done. Okay, so now I'm going to do something even.
Oh, and there is Adam Branch in there, 131 up
Yes,
there.
131. John F. Kennedy is 131. And that's the date too of the two different the timing is everything. I close that out. But let me go to my page for a second to show you guys, because watch this one. Now remember what we just posted, and from what movie is that from, Mel?
I'm sorry, it was
White Squall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
and so where we go one, we go all is on JFK's boat.
Okay,
yeah, that bell was
on the bell.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna go backwards now. See if you guys are paying attention. I guess I did this on Q School Anniversary. So the day before, the calm before the storm. You are the voice. We are here to help guide. Future proofs past. You are the calm before and during the storm. Who knows what Q drop one is? Q School knows that one. You should know that one. Here's our friends though. We were just talking about. We've highlighted. Ripcord tomorrow is the State of the Union. Did Q give us a heads up to look for comms back in 2018? There's the 2018. It's True Stormy Joe. Now that's the one. Oh my God, how am I not following?
Is that the one that we just?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Here we go. States in his post below to be on the lookout for a possible code. It may be a good time to watch the speech tomorrow. Q post 814 February 23rd, 2018, 8-year Delta Day. You have more. You know. This is why we are here. Great job, Patriots. Excuse me, Patriot. I'm speaking to you, though. Watch the speech. We are talking to you. Proofs only meant for you.
Wow. Chills, man.
Hold on. It gets even better because we go into it. I'm pretty thoughts when it was embedded. Yeah, here it is. Okay, here's this decode. I'm not sure what this one actually has.
Time travel is fun.
They're doing this decode from the Q drops from Q School Anniversary. We kind of highlighted ours, which is Q drop 819. But these were the other deltas. 814 major Q proof because Q provides a banking account number in 2018, January 5th, no less. Anons find this number connected in a Department of Justice document from 2014. El Amir, aka A1, so it was highlighted in a Department of Justice all the way back in 2014. You have more than you know. How many Q drops do you have more than you know, Mel?
17.
45.
Oh.
45. That's Q School stuff. We know that shit. This is why we are here. Great job, Patriot. Watch the speech. We are talking to you. Proofs only meant for you. I just read that, but hold on, because I'm pretty sure if this is connected to one more, I think it's this one. Yeah. So go into this one. Here's the post he had. I swear they had, unless it was the treason channel. I thought it was that one.
Red thing.
Hold on, because I'm looking for the treason guys, and they played it the day before, so it all connects to this post that we just had. Here we go. I think it's in here.
Remember the Department of something to relieve, like there was Trump in the background, an activation code.
Yeah. Okay. We did Q drop.
Like
looking for that thing I had.
Like EBS.
EBS.
So you guys have probably seen it out there, but I can't remember where we put it. So, anyways, it's been an amazing.
Oh, you know what I got? Here, let me do this real quick because I'm looking for the. I'm looking for something. We put the Q screen up for a second when you get a chance. So here's a Mag 5. Susan Calloway and I were putting the numbers together here, and we have 44 so far. I've been wanting to show this, so shout out Susan Calloway here. Check this out, guys. Reading the map, the different search results that equal exactly 17. So there's the Q post 225, and there 43 confirmed connections. I think there's at least 51 that does say 43, so we've gone over 43. But here's just some of them. Or these are all of the 44, unless Mag's found more. If anybody else has found any more, please let us know.
That's a beautiful image too. Thank you for doing that.
Yes, it is. Excuse me. We're actually not at 44. We already have more. Wait to hear this one because somehow she missed these two. Well, you're gonna love this. This is all Q School stuff, guys. Okay, 17 agenda, 17 Q drops. This is on QAG specifically, so it's either Anon had that word or Q responded directly to it, or it's in the Q drop. Anyways, agenda, gold. None, finance, trap, audit. You guys see all these patient timelines in there, messages, spying, players, infiltrate the stormy patriot, Shell, Least, Small, Shield. Shout out all of us, Cindy, Brittany Stover, all you others that have found some of these with us. Thank you guys for all the digs. Nothing can stop what? Tim found that one a long time ago, because if Kylie Bird's memory is good, let's see how it is, because I think it's a Mandela effect with this post. I think there's 16 nothing can stop what is coming Q drops, but there's only one with the acronym And we should go for, again. Let me finish this one though. Okay, so vote. This one's we got to update this when we do our new one though. Susan Calloway, it's vote dash. This is underscore. Important. There's a difference if you do a dash or underscore in Q drops, but the vote, because vote is like a several. I think it's like 89 Q drops maybe, and then you put the dash at the end of it on QAG, and it's 17 Q drops. Why, kids? Because the dash matters. Okay, the dash, the military operation, the election was stolen. The pen, 17 Q drops. That was a major Q proof too, because it came out that Auto Pen Joe is the exact delta and day of the Q drop that says follow the pen. But when you search the pen, 17 Q drops. Okay, I apostrophe M. That one surprises me. Hate, craft, pill, heavy sheep no more. There it is. Seeing bottom in July, but 2 ones are missing off here. I'm just going to give the answer. It's absolute and resolve. So we were talking about absolute storm, but absolute resolve, the operation that took out Maduro, was more Q school comms to us because absolute is 17 and resolve is 17. So we have at least 46 terms on the map so far. Again, I think we're going to have to build one for 45 and we'll see about these others, but we're going to work on the 17s for sure. If you guys find any, please let us know what you got.
Would you mind just pulling that up again and kind of scroll out?
Yeah.
So
Okay. I'll see the whole thing.
Yeah.
I have the image though too, and I can post it.
Sure. It's okay though. I'd like to have it here.
Okay. Where was I? I got to share screen. And thank you again.
I found that Q drop 10 is what I was referencing earlier about giving people a way out.
Okay.
10. Okay. Yeah. Let's bring that up right after this. Okay. Yeah. And then, you got it now, yep. I think. So this is the one then. Here it is. Okay, full circle. Oh, this, I'm getting chills now. It was a double drop. This is for operational security. I was just going with the decoder stormy. I did the storm, the calm before the storm, Stormy Patriot. We're getting caught up in the storm right now. We got our State of the Union, the replay one got cut off by the storm. Had to get back out. Here's this post here. This is my calm to the team. Here's news treason 17. Full circle, guys. Tim, you were just talking about these guys, right? Look at this, Mel, and this is since it's a couple days ago, today's Delta. You have come far, Anon. Patriots, you are ready. Prepare for the storm.
The ship beneath you is not a toy, and sailing's not a game.
So why the hell do it?
Bill's character, Mr. Preston, of which you are in desperately short supply.
They came from different places.
And this Ocean Academy isn't recognized as accredited.
It'll be a good thing, Dad.
They sailed for different reasons.
I don't want to be what I was when I left.
There you go.
Anonymous.
But there was only one way.
We'll do it together.
I can't.
Climb!
To survive on his ship.
I will challenge them, and they will come together.
Become a team.
Where we go one, we go all.
Because where he was taking them...
What are they doing?
Claiming their place in the world.
Could not be measured in miles. They thought they had survived the greatest challenge of their lives.
We had come through every kind of seas imaginable.
Except a white squall.
But it was only...
White squalls are a phenomenon of the imagination.
The calm.
What happened to my ship was not imagined.
Before the storm. Largo Entertainment presents a film about loyalty.
Where we go one,
we go all.
Discovery.
But we're a crew. That's what this whole thing is about.
And courage.
Don't you walk out on this, Skipper, you don't!
Captain, they're only boys.
We listened to you, we believed you!
They're much more than that, sir.
And we are still here!
Jeff Bridges in a Ridley Scott film. White Squall. Based on a true story.
Based on a true story, y'all. Y'all best start believing in the greatest story ever told because you're part of it. Y'all are part of it. So there it was, White Squall. We did that whole decode. So we just showed that full circle. And I just calmed those guys right before the State of the Union on Q School's anniversary and Stormy Patriot. So y'all check that out and we'll figure out the decodes. Like we were saying, we get called to do different posts, different things, and it starts these activations timelines. I can't explain it all, but here we are, and it's an incredible time to be alive, and what a part of this journey that we're all in here. So what a day, huh?
Yeah, great day.
Oh, you're muted, Tim.
Oh, sorry about that. I had a blue mic in it. That squall, That I'm just looking now. That was a Delta, I believe, on Sunday.
Yeah, that's why the new treason channel posted it.
Right.
And then let me just go back to that real quick, kind of the full circle of all that. But also, they don't know about that Donald Trump Jr. post. I mean, they've never
Q
read it.
dropped 2867, I believe.
2867. Yeah, I was just highlighting. Okay, so then they said, "You have come far, Anons, Patriots. You are ready. Prepare for the storm, Q." And then look at this. And then they shared in here, Q plus exclamation point. What's the exclamation point mean? Interesting. So then somebody else calm them back. Hope you're paying attention. 220. That's interesting. 2059, 58. That's reminding me of something else. 38's in there again, and 88. 33, 38, 80. They fear an awake public. Look at what we're just covering. Public awakening. Each Q proves our strength too. Thank you, Q and Q plus. That's all you guys also as well.
That was the 2222 that you guys had on that image that you just had.
Image name. Yep. And then, so I missed that part, what she's saying right here. The date, so look at that, 222 also matches. This is an image, I can't highlight it. Wow, nice catch on that, because it was 4 2s even, right? 4 2s is the image name. Oh, we're getting deep in the calm before the storm. Y'all gotta get on my X, make sure y'all see what's going on there. You have come far, and as what they shared, you are ready. This YouTube link goes to the original White Squall. Prepare for the storm, Q. Now, extra fun sauce on that movie when it originally came out, or on YouTube. The movie's from 1993, but if you watch the what's it called, closed captioning on there, there's some comms throughout it too, because that literally the 107 mark. At first he says, "I don't want to be anonymous anymore," so we get comms from the Anons, anonymous, and then they say as together, "Where we go one, we go all." It's about going on this journey on a ship, a vessel together to a place, and a storm happens, and we have leadership, and we have chain of command, and we have only our brothers and sisters on this vessel with us, and all these other things trying to divide and get in the way of that, right? And then they said, "Where we go one, we go all." But at 107 on the original trailer, it says maybe it's the calm, but on the closed captioning, it said O'Donnell, calm before the storm. It said O'Donnell in there. They've since, I think YouTube's updated their closed caption. It was like that for a long time though, several years. That's also major Q proof. We've only showed it maybe once or twice on Q School. I was reiterating what it was to be an Anon back in the day. In 2018, Trump trolled the media, and Q did it with Trump to show us how awesome this whole movie is, and also how to have fun though, part of it, because it's going to get nasty. We didn't know in 2018. We thought it was right around the corner, but what we do is he made the tweet about somebody getting off scot-free, and he spelled it like the man's name, capital S, capital F, scot-free, doing a super condensed version of this. All the left-wing media made fun of him because getting off scot-free is supposed to be SCOT lowercase dash free. It's a term like getting off scot-free. He said scot-free. They all made fun of him. This in real time. Then Q says, trolling the media like 101. There's a beautiful Q drop, right? You can go in there. And so Trump makes that. The left attacks him, comes to full circle. Scot-free is the creator of Key Largo, the Key Largo Entertainment. Interesting names there too. It's Scot-Free Productions or something. Yeah, that's Scot-Free Productions, and he's the guy that created the movie Where We Go One, We Go All, and it's from 93, and it's got Anonymous, Where We Go One, We Go All, and The Calm Before the Storm, all in that shit. And then we also had the Anons were able to just put that right in people's faces. That like, what does this mean? That woke up probably Q people over the years, seeing the Twitter, maybe people that weren't even responding, like, what is this about? Like Tim says, he's like, what is this about? I want to learn this stuff. So it's just this amazing operation with the Q team, the military, but with the Anons. It couldn't be done without us. We couldn't do it without them. That's why it's beautiful. That's why whatever they want, you guys want this thing to end, means we are just as equally responsible, if not more, because ultimately it's the civilian command over the military who, your commander's telling you this now, that we have to step forward, right? It's just in the as above, so below, as within, so without, on earth as it is in heaven. We want heaven on earth. We're responsible for that. We got to walk in that frequency, but that also includes stepping forward. But when you're really embodying that frequency too, you're not fearful of anything. So we're not scared of these assholes. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's the black magicians. They're always trying to seed you with fear, doubt, or confusion. But we don't need to do that when we have faith and we trust the plan, because we know that in the end, the good guys win. But we've already won. That's what it's about. So Mel's putting up some of the shirt there too if you want to support. Other stuff on the bottom too if you guys want to do some donations. I think we're going to wrap it up here pretty soon. Tim, you want to last message? We could potentially do some of that episode. We didn't get to go into it, the Charlie Kirk thing, or maybe we'll replay it tomorrow. I'm not sure. But then we also are going to play the end of Donald Trump's speech to close it out for sure. So I know Tim will give us a little heads up.
I think what we can do is we'll revisit the opening of that Q school with Charlie Kirk assassination that particular day. We'll do that tomorrow because we are running out of time today. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seats, but that's kind of how we rock and roll here. But we want to bring up, go back to the Q board. We do want to talk about our title, End of the D Party, Q drops. There's also the death of the D Party, and I believe Kyle wants to look up Death Spiral. I think there's one that alludes to Death Spiral. And we'll kind of wrap things up based on our title and basically the theme that we had today, which is really based on the State of the Union, the real State of the Union speech last night, where Trump basically called them right out and showed the world how demonic that Democrat Party, those representatives of the Democrats, because those are the people's representatives, how evil they have become. I call them demon rats, not Democrats. Demon rats.
And it's just you change one letter, isn't that?
That's not all Democrats, right? 4 to 6% will be lost forever. And if we bring up Q drop 10 really quick, it'll go with what Q, like there's much more behind the scenes than we can even imagine what they're trying to do to break. Like we do our best that we can, all of us here, and you guys in the chat watching us live. We all do our best to wake up our family and friends, our loved ones, the people that are our center of influence. And a lot of times we mess that up. We screw it up. We just don't know tactically the right way to do it, other than what we've learned over the years is to be soft and kind, be loving, but drop seeds, plant seeds, I should say, and let those seeds get watered by others. Others will do the watering. The news or other people will talk to them in whatever conversations they may get into, and they'll remember something that you planted maybe a month ago, 6 months ago, a year, 2, 3 years ago. Like the Epstein stuff is a great example. We planted those seeds a long time ago based on the Q Intel board, and a lot of people called us wacky, crazy, and everything. But now all of a sudden, what have we seen in the last month or so? We've seen a lot of D-class, a lot of Epstein files coming out. Now, people that we planted those seeds, what are they talking about? The water cooler at work. They're all standing around the water cooler and saying, holy shit, did you see that Epstein stuff? You know, this is how it comes full circle. So in Q drop 10, when I call the demon rats, and they're really evil. Q drop 10 really spells it out quite nicely in what they're trying to do to help save most of humanity. You can't save them all. Not all will be saved. As Q says, people kill people. And we are in a war. This is a real war in real time. But Q drop 10 explains it. And it says, remember, the FBI and military intelligence have an open investigation into the Clinton Foundation. Why did Comey drop this? Who was the FBI director during the Haiti crisis? How many kids disappeared? How much money is sent to the Clinton Foundation under disguise of Haiti relief? Went to Haiti. What countries donated big money to the Clinton Foundation and why? That would be Ukraine and others. How much was owed by accepting? When she lost, how would this be repaid? What did Obama do with the cash just prior to leaving office? The $1.7 billion on the airplanes, pallets of cash. Yeah. Repayment to those who donated for favors and access? Question mark. Dig, Q says. And there's the most important sentence right here. Again, good people were forced into bed with this evil under personal and family threats. Don't kid yourself, folks. A lot of families have been threatened. A lot of our judges, a lot of our patriots out there, congressmen and women, senators, even at the local levels, their families have received death threats, all ongoing, like their children too. They follow their kids at schools, all this. We can't even fathom how deep and ugly and evil this is. So
hold on, Tim, hold on. It was so beautiful. This whole thing's going so really know that again, the cartel. This is also their Q drop too. If you do CCP, command and control position, like-minded stuff. But the crazy synchronicity, Tim, oh my God, this crazy synchronicity is I read this Q drop on January 17th, the episode we did on my phone. And that was the first time I ever saw us do our recording because I was playing on my big screen where I was living in Alaska from the phone. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good. And I was going out the door and I was reading this part, this Q drop right here. That's the Q drop we did with the red wave, which goes that Donald Trump Jr. tweet that says this is the end of the Democrat Party of JFK Jr., RIP. Full circle. We read that then. And then I was talking to Melzie about this before the show about the Q operation because she's like, most people are good. I said 99% are good. Tim knows this too. 99% are good. 1% are bad. And I said this, imagine how many people, I'm going to come right to this thing. We'll do this last paragraph for Tim. This is going to totally lead right into it. 99% are good. 1% are bad. And a lot of people joined the CIA, NSA. I thought about going CIA when I was younger. Imagine that. You know what I mean? And so some of these people had a true patriotic sense, most of them, to serve their country, and then they got involved in this system and they couldn't get out, and some lost their lives. Some people have told their stories, some are whistleblowers, many are. But the point being is, what would happen, if you were that person and you're just like having to watch this nightmare before your eyes? I mean, the military talks about, wow, that's supposedly how that football player died. He was going to expose that. I joined after 9/11 and I found I'm protecting the opium fields from ISIS. Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? So, what's his main theme? I was going with that. So I'm gonna go read this. Okay, so then you're gonna read this next part. Is if the Q team came forward, guys, you're living this nightmare. You're a true patriot. You're in FBI. You're in whatever DHS, NSA, CIA, and you see this nightmare before your eyes, but you're still a good person. And we have everything, and we're watching everyone with more technology you can understand, not in like a spy way, but a frequency thing. And we know who the good guys are. If the white hats came to you, what would you do? You would be honored at the highest level. If the white hats in the military asked you to join a mission that we needed you to save the country and the world for, you would absolutely accept that mission, as you have, if you haven't figured that out yet. So here's the rest of that Q drop 10. Maybe even read the second line that you just did one more time, and then do that last one here. Do this, the one in highlight, and then the last part.
Yeah, again, good people were forced into bed with this evil under personal and family threats. Could you live with yourself helping to cover up such evil, despicable acts if given a safe way out? These people worship Satan. Some openly show it. Right there, folks. And it looks like Pepe wants to come and join the party all of a sudden.
Oh my gosh, that was perfect. Because I hadn't seen your screen, I stepped away, Tim, and oh my gosh, so
relax there.
I'm gonna go full circle because that's got a space in there. Actually, let's use Q alerts for that. Oh no, I'm gonna do the underscore. I'm not sure what the answer is. Underscore. There's 2,000 drops. Why would there be that many? It must be part of. That's not correct because that must be the image.
So when it comes, the end of the D party, basically. It's all most of the Democrat, I would say a large percentage of them have part of that Q drop 10 that I read. Many of them, like it's just a small core group of them that are pure evil, right? They worship Satan and all that stuff. But there's going to be some of those Democrat Party members. Like, look at Fetterman last night, all dressed up in a beautiful suit and everything. Like, he's the guy that wears track pants at the Capitol. I mean, all of a sudden he shows up at the State of the Union in a suit. I mean, he's a Democrat. I mean, there's some good people still out there. It's just a small core group of people that are clinging on to their power. And they're the ones you keep your head on a swivel about, because they're the ones that are losing their freaking minds. The rest of them are going to be given a way out as this unfolds, but it will be the end of the Democrat Party, no doubt. Oh, you're muted, Kyle.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you for that, brother. All right, let's take that down.
So it is real good time to be alive and paying attention to all this as we do this daily. It's going to be a wild ride, folks.
So we're a little long, but I'm going to show. I searched D in the kill brackets. I don't do that, not that one. D in the kill brackets, and we get 137 posts. So whenever I have a big number like that too, I always will check out that Q drop first too. 137. Always do the mirror on that. So just going to show you what I did here real quick. I put in 137 as a timestamp.
Can be more banks. I bet you it's more banks to match Melzie's Q drop.
Oh yeah. So anyways, 21 Q drops, but 137 will come up. But here's this Q drop 321, which is interesting too, because it's Post 134. This is timestamp. U.S. military. POTUS. There's POTUS again. 137 U.S. military Q. And that's 321. That's on the JFK Jr. death certificate. But then I want to show, I want to do actually queued up 137 though. Where did I go with that? I was supposed to do that over here. So I'll just do 137, see if there's any connection. And then I want to do one of these D bracket ones. Oh, 137 also connects to the bank stuff too. So the D and the kill bracket. Okay.
Yeah, there's four Q drops, Melzie, all in a row that have the banks, and you happen to pull up the final one, the last
the last one with the Federal Reserve
there
at the end.
There was a 5-5 in that too.
Yeah, the 5-5 in the timestamp, 138:23:32.
Anyway, so those are interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I want to do. Hold on. We need to do end.
End of the D party, and then I'd like you to pull up that drop that says death of the D party.
Okay.
Because there's only 3 drops to cover when we do it that way.
Is D party? Oh, the kill bracket is in there then, huh?
No, it's not. No, just type in D party without the kill bracket.
I don't see end of D party. Did I do something?
End of the D party. It should come right up.
Okay. End of the D party.
And then we'll do death of the D party.
Okay.
That's only one drop that specifically says that.
Okay, so you got, what'd you do on, did you go Q alerts? Is it 2 drops on Q alerts also?
Yes, that's correct.
Somebody search end of the D, see if anything pops up, but probably most likely this is the whole thing here. 540, this is 521. It's the same. No, it's a few days later, but these are all related though. Are you following the news today? What a big news day. All caps. I always think of Gematria on that. Oh, one more we'll have to do this as a team, but I actually got a coding that each line needs to be done in Gematria. And then we'll have to work as a team and then anyways, be more mapping with it. But what a big news day. These people are really stupid. These people are crazy. This will be the end of the D party. This will be the path forward with public outrage to jail many so-called untouchables. Who are some of those untouchables that have been jailed recently? Prince Andrew. We got a long list going on here too. Who's that UK ambassador? He tried to kill himself. Suicide weekend's coming up too. So we're going to be tracking all this stuff. You, the people, have the power. Down she goes, Q. And that's a double, triple name for me right there, Tim. Down she goes, Hillary Clinton. But this is also down she goes, Democrat Party. But also down she goes, Federal Reserve. We're going to sink the Federal Reserve like the Titanic. Full circle, everything we talked about is also ending the debt overnight. It's not from tariffs because tariffs wouldn't bring in that much, but he did start them in 2018, and it's been 6 full years. And Tim, we talked about that, not so much live, but he's used all that over the years. But the big part about that is we're going to bankrupt the Federal Reserve, though, too. He switched it over to the Treasury in his first administration. Yep. So we're going to basically make them buy their own debt back and bankrupt them, and then we're going to have a separate parallel system at the same time based on real assets like gold, silver, platinum, with a new financial system that's different we've ever seen, but for the people, and there's no central bank, and they're going to go at the same time that people say, wait, I'm going to get away from this. These people are falling apart, and we're seeing all that play out. But down she goes, I always think is Federal Reserve, but down she goes, the D party as well.
Yeah, amen. Now, death of the D party. What's that Q drop say? And then we'll think about heading out. Hey, Melzie, what do you say? It's 5 o'clock Eastern right now. Yeah.
Okay. So again, I like to do less words too, also, so that less words. Sometimes you find some different. That's how you'll find the 17s also, right? So death of, we got 4 drops. Just gonna scan them. See, death of father, death of John Perry Barlow drops in here. Death of John Perry Barlow, one of these. I don't know where it is. Death, there it is. Was the heart related? Death of Barlow's girlfriend, a botched first attempt to murder John Barlow. Ooh, I don't remember that one so much. That's a Barlow search. I'll check that one out. There it is right here. Oh, voter ID. How perfect. How perfect everything. And
it's perfect. It matches the State of the Union speech last night. Save America Act. Here we go.
Oh, look at, we just showed those executions from January 19th, 119 there too.
9/11.
Yep, 9/11 mirrored. All the comms. 9/5 in there also. 9/5 are the 18s, double 18s again. Okay, 148.06, 23.93. This highlighted. I showed you this on QSCHQQL last week, or even more recently. The places where the undocumented immigrants are match the counties that vote blue perfectly. Okay, the great storm, amazing what you discover when you research for yourself. God bless you, Patriots. Here's again, we've shown this graphic many times. Just a small list of things requiring ID but not considered racist.
We
Purchasing
can add
alcohol.
one. We have to add one to that. Shoveling snow in New York.
Shoveling snow in New York. Yeah, the memes are great, right? So I've read these all before. You guys know the deal. This is a great meme too, right? In the Q drops, the memes are awesome in the Q drops. Go there to get your memes. And then here it is. You want to read this one, Tim?
Sure. Will recent expected voter fraud actions by the D Party provide support for a voter ID law? Voter ID equals death of the D Party. Boomerang suicide? Question mark.
Boomerang suicide. Boomerang suicide.
There
I
it
think
is.
we talked about that, didn't we? Didn't Trump talk about that last night?
Yeah. Voter ID law. Yeah, he brought up the Save America Act and specifically broke down all three. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, one more. I know you're going to check out here. I'm going to go. Well, I just did Spiral. This is how you search different things, and we get some interesting comments. That's why you also search Q drops with terms, because then you get a combination of drops that maybe have connections you didn't otherwise see. So there's 3 drops here, 4152, tweets in there. All assets deployed. Win by any means necessary. D Party death spiral.
Good find, brother.
Yeah, and then let me see if this is still up, the tweet. Yeah, let's say if Hillary had won, you'd never even know what COVID-19 is. Oh, and this is funny, the mirror of that. This guy's probably a TDS tard saying that COVID wouldn't even happen because Hillary would have protected us. Like Event 201 was on the deck.
General Flynn right below that. Look at the General Flynn.
I know, I was seeing that. Oh, Q sent us Kim Runner. I think and there it is. Digital soldiers. God love that shit. And then here it is. So all assets deployed. But look at this. This is May 8th. So prior to the George Floyd incident, but they'd already tried to use COVID to get us. And then there's these 2 other ones I want to read. When does NDA expire? That's a non-disclosure agreement regarding drug sale to foreign entity. Think 2020 P election +1, removal, blackout, coming of pro-POTUS accounts, win by any means necessary. All assets will be deployed this election. Sleepers Pro will shift position nay. Paul Ryan Fox, case some other comms there. When does COVID-19 2 in the kill brackets, phase 2, MSDNC fear push end? Think 2020 presidential election +1. We never thought Joe Biden was going to be in office, and they told us because this is the D Party death spiral. What do you call Biden a lot of times, Mel?
Red pill Biden.
Red pill Biden. That's the death party. That's where it started. Okay, a death spiral is actually when you spin out of control in an aircraft, and that's what happens. Is that what's happening? Is that was the start, the unraveling, right? We got to see Biden. Now we're going to see the total polar opposite of that. This is what the anons are all here for. And then one last one. Let's see, 4539, June 29th. So after the George Floyd stuff, the riots are going on. Jim Jordan. Let's see what he says. He says, the same people who broke the Russia hoax story now expect us to believe they're reporting on President Trump ignoring bounties on American troops. Don't think so. So, yeah, the fake newsing like they do. Okay. And Tim, you want to read this one?
Yeah, sure. DOD, whistleblower coming, shift investigation hearing coming, win by any means necessary, all assets deployed, live or die. D Party, foreign puppet masters, string pullers, death spiral. Q. Whoa, that's a big one right there.
Yeah.
That
Just
ties
by
it all in.
spiral. Yeah. Holy
Wow.
all right.
What a great show, you guys. What a great day that was. And we'll try to remind each other to do a little bit of that Charlie Kirk stuff tomorrow, just to go back in time a little bit. We're not sure what other breaking news we'll have for you, other than the fact that I think tomorrow is Hillary Clinton's deposition into the House chamber. And Friday is Bill Clinton. So we got Hillary tomorrow and Bill Clinton on Friday for the Epstein stuff. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Like a boom, 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 boom weekend.
And also John Solomon's been busting out some more stuff about Fannie Willis. Just saying, Fannie's she's in big heat, big trouble too. That was breaking today too. So
they're frothing at the mouth, man. You're like, they're freaking something's wrong with them.
It's crazy times anyway. Yeah. But thanks, Melzie. Thanks, Kyle, for all you do. And the outro's good. You're going to love the outro in case you missed it last night, which is the very end of the State of the Union speech. I think it was the most beautiful and powerful statement in 5 minutes that I've ever heard Trump say. And it's the big picture stuff, folks. It's where we're heading. So love you guys. Thank you for hanging with us today, spending your time and energy with us. We hope that you enjoyed and learned something new today. I know I did. And just thanks for being you. Thank you for all the things that you do to help us along the way. So God bless you all, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time.
Love.
See you, buddy. All right, I'm gonna show one quick thing. I know Mel's dying to get out of here and hang in me like 30 seconds here. Let me finish the rest
30
of the
seconds.
And it came up some of the memes here. We're showing you some of these already. Again, some great memes there. Make sure y'all hit some like on here during the State of the Union. This is just so simple, right? President Trump encouraged the room to stand to their feet if they agreed with the following statement: the first duty of the United States government is to protect U.S. citizens, not illegal aliens. And Democrats did not stand to their feet. That should deeply concern every single United States citizen. The Democrat Party believes it is their duty to protect people who've broken into our country illegally over you. Okay, so I was sharing those, and then the memes. And then here's the Q drop. They think you are stupid. They think you will follow the stars. They openly call you sheep and cattle. There will come a time none of them will be able to walk down the street. Biggest fear, public awakening. Okay, talking about, and then some memes, right? This is the Democrat Party for full display. Y'all seen the whole thing where he's, I can't read, when you realize everyone who went to the island out to get Trump, right? That's what it's all about. Symbolism on full display. And this is from a Q drop. So I just want to show this last one, the Q drop 4627 during the DNC 2020. Watching the DNC last night, I noticed their logo. Now, where have I seen that uneven star before? Hiding in plain sight. So just for reference, it was the D20 2020 convention, and this is left and right, so that D20 was written out from left to right. But if you just turn it this way, it's even with the colors showing who they are. Okay, and then Q says there's a post from Trump, and this is everything that's happening today as well. Full circle, future proves past. One party discusses God, one party discusses darkness. One party promotes God, one party eliminates God. Symbolism will be their downfall. This is the one. Wow, the great deceivers. And there's also the S in here because the great deceiver is the devil, but these are their servants of the great deceiver, are the servants. That's them. When was the last time you witnessed a D party leader being patriotic, exhibiting national pride and love of a country? Can you even think of one, honestly?
Well, certainly not after last night.
No, I mean, even years back. When was the last time you witnessed a D party leader speak out against the riots and violence in the streets? When was the last time you witnessed a D party leader support those who took an oath to protect and defend? Right now they're laughing about, there's the girls doing their little whatever upload, and they're laughing like, I can't listen to this, and it was an award show. Yeah, it's a military veteran. Okay, was 100 years old. I mean, it's incredible. When was the last time you witnessed a D party leader support and call for unity across our nation? Now, this is before we got Biden. That all of a sudden they get back in power and like, oh, let's all come together now, guys. And then they also go full communist, fascism, censorship shit, right? Okay, all assets deployed, information warfare, infiltration, destruction of America. That was their goal. But we took the power back. We got the timeline. Have faith in humanity. Have faith in yourself. United we stand. God wins. Pretty strong there. Cute. And then just the last of these memes here. So funny. Republic, if we can keep the retards out, okay? We got to keep it going. Here's a beautiful White House. We got the best memers. You know these tards. They're all stupid. But be kind to retards. You may be one. And then love, love, love. Remember to lead with love, guys. Be you, not them. We're not going to be like them. We're going to lead with love and friend around and find out. Remember who you are, because the world is watching. The world is watching. All right.
All right.
So I got to get the White House thing up. I guess I'll go to Diggers. Any last words? You got the thing there? Anything else you want to announce? Anything? I'm going to get the link that Tim shared with us. And we're going to close out with Trump's State of the Union, this last little message. Thank you guys for being part of this. Thanks, Tim, for the link on there too. And whew, what a day. What a day. All right. Where's that White House link? I think I went past it. There it is.
Remember to hit the like button, guys.
Yeah, make sure you like, hit, send it out. We appreciate all y'all.
To everybody that you can.
Love, love, love.
Thank you, guys. Love, love, love.
Thank you, guys.
If they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday. But you know, that's our highest honor, Congressional Medal of Honor, and that's a big thing, and it's an honor to be in the same room with you. Thank you both very much, Eric. Thank you. Thank you.
The storm is back.
250 years is a long time in the life of a nation. But in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. Two of the gentlemen we met in the gallery this evening took their first breaths 1 century ago. 100 years before that, on July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, brilliant, Thomas Jefferson, drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes. In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together, we mastered the world's mightiest industries and shattered history's monstrous tyrannies. And we liberated millions from the chains of fascism, communism, oppression, and terror. Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the wings of aluminum and steel, and then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We wired the globe with our ingenuity. We captivated the planet with American culture, and now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy and unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside. But that great betrayal is over, and they will never be forgotten again. Because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland villages of Michigan, from the sun-kissed shores of Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas, and from the historic streets of Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Oh yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. We love you all. Storm's still in.